Lag. What happened? Oh my god. Hello, I'm here. Hello. That was weird. Like everything just shit the bed after the opening. What's up,
Ew.
everybody? Welcome to the Wardcast. Every Saturday, we're here live with you at 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. EST to talk about the important things: video game news, machinima, survival horror, and just games in general. I'm your host, Sean Clark, alongside Jazz Rich.
How are we here at 3 p.m. EST and 6 p.m. EST?
Time zones.
But they're both EST? What?
PST.
PST.
Oh, okay. I just heard EST for both. I was like, what?
No.
Time. Specific time.
PST, EST.
Oh.
And I don't know if maybe there's a better way to do that. Maybe I can say Pacific and Eastern. I don't know.
No, it's specific. Hi.
Oh, yeah. Specific. My bad. Hello. Alec Funnel.
Did you know Sega made a point-and-click game called The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog? It's free on Steam.
How?
He's got to go fast.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, isn't that a blatant like copyright violation? Like how is that on Steam?
I fear that's a blatant lie. I'm gonna Google it.
Shayla Hill.
Hey.
Short and sweet. Carmen De La Cruz. And Carmen De La Cruz, because she's the last one. Yes, hello.
What?
The
She's
final
the
girl.
last one.
What?
Okay, nothing.
There you go. You said it. I have distressing news, everybody. Distressing news. Unfortunately, we're starting to see the downside to physical media. I didn't put this in the news because it's not really video game related per se, but it's something I wanted to talk about real quick. But yeah, nothing is perfect in the world. Even physical media, it has its flaws. Specifically, when it comes to Warner Brothers DVDs, WB put out a statement that many of their discs that were produced between 2006 and 2009 are failing early due to disc rot as a result of manufacturing issues. This affects over several hundred of their titles within that window of time. Discs are designed to last between 30 and 100 years or longer if you take care of them properly. But these discs are failing to last even 30 years at this point. So that's not good. WB urges people to test their discs, and if any issues arise, they're replacing some of the discs. If they have the title available, they'll send you a replacement, or if they don't have it, they'll give you something similar, is what they say. I don't know how you can give somebody a similar movie. It's like, my Terminator doesn't work, so here's iRobot. Like, what? Like, how does that work? But yeah, it's kind of, it's spooky. It's spooky for collectors. But do you guys have a lot of DVDs? This isn't affecting Blu-rays, obviously. It's just a DVD problem, particularly WB DVDs. But do you guys have a lot of DVDs?
Probably not WB, but yeah, I do.
Same.
So that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, you might want to dig through them and see if there's a bunch of WB DVDs. You might want to test them and see if they work.
Wasn't the
I
Harry
only
Potter
have
series?
about 600 DVDs upstairs.
Wow, that's all? That's so many.
Nah.
Hello. Wasn't
And none of them are pirated.
Hi,
Some
Lee.
of
Hi,
them
Survival
are-
Horror fan. Welcome on in.
some of them that I own
But,
are from previous origin, but we've been over that before. Is
You stole them?
oh,
Like, what
Remember
does
when-
that mean?
remember when there was that store called should I name it? They're out of business, called Gimme Anime, and they sold a lot of things that they probably shouldn't have sold. Do you recall? 20 years or somewhere around there. Anime.
No.
From the
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't count. Burned DVDs are, I mean, I don't expect those to last. But like when
wasn't the
something,
Harry
like
Potter
usually
series-
when, usually like when something's manufactured like that, it's, treated and coated, and, like the quality is a lot higher than if you just, take a CDR or DVD-R or whatever and burn something onto it.
I got it from some guy in the back of the mall.
Son
Back
of a
alley.
bitch.
Back alley.
There, I fixed it. I looked at the last episode that was uploaded. It said it was 260. Oh, I'm stupid.
Perhaps you'll
I
need a
fixed it.
monocle.
Maybe I need thicker glasses. I guess I don't know. But yeah, hopefully saying episode 275 on my end. 275 was the last uploaded one, or it's saying that the current episode is 275.
I would refresh.
Now I'm confused.
Both.
Okay, so
How could it?
No,
What?
okay, this current episode that's live right now is 276. What you're saying on YouTube is 275. Now you change it on Restream to
Oh my
277.
Not on Restream. On YouTube.
I can't even fix it now. I'll have to fix it in post. This is not episode 277. This is 276. You guys fucked me up.
77.
77. But yeah, just an interesting thing for physical media collectors. If you have a bunch of DVDs, you might want to check them out and see what's going on over there. And it does kind of raise concerns on like older generation platforms in terms of like video games, like PS2, Xbox 360. Those are all DVD format. Again, this is more of like a WB problem than just an overall DVD problem, but similar things can happen. And as these things do start to get like 40, 50 years old and whatnot, you might want to keep an eye on what you have, make sure that you're putting them in proper places so they're not changing in temperature and things like that, so that you can preserve what you have as they get older. But either way, physical media is still the best. Get fucked, even if it disintegrates. I would rather have it.
Are the DVDs like, I don't feel so good?
Bleh. Yeah, they got a little thermometer in their mouth, coughing. How did you fix it?
I logged onto your YouTube and.
But it still says 277 on Restream. It won't let me update it.
It says 276 for me.
It's okay.
Weird.
Either way, understand.
Once it's all done, I'll take a look and see what the final upload is. And
Apparently
if it's
me
not
and
the
Alec
right one,
both tried to
I
fix it at the same
will
time.
correct it. So either way. Yeah, there you go. So today we have a big boy episode. We're gonna go long and hard. Woo!
I'm leaving.
Wow.
This week we're talking about Fable getting delayed, Call of Duty being just the worst, the downfall of Naughty Dog, and a lot more. In addition to the regular news, we have an extended news segment because Nintendo decided to pull their ass cheeks apart and shit as hard as possible all over their bed. So we're going to talk about all that.
News.
The regular news.
The regular.
So yeah, that'll be fun. After news, we have our Machinima Showcase, a brand new mystery segment, and then it is time for our gams. Alec is bringing back Attention Seekers. We haven't done that in a while, and we have Reverse and Remembered, followed by Nobody Asked Us, because I still haven't gotten my shit together with Read Your Comments, because I've had a lot going on. Leave me alone. But yeah, jam-packed episode.
You
5
took
people.
over my baby and you left it in the corner.
I stole it and I abandoned it on the side of the freeway. I'm sorry. God damn it. Lee, what are you saying? Physical media is the best. I'm not. Shut the fuck up. That's not just physical media. That's everything. But yeah. But before we get into everything that we just talked about, we got to see what's been going on this week. So, Alec, why don't you go this week? Kick us off.
Sure, pick on me when I was just drinking.
That's why I picked on you, you motherfucker.
Okay.
Sir Alec would like to offer you the chance to prove yourself worthy of being quiet until he has finished with his week.
I told you I was going to do this, and I did. I played Save. Full game with Sean, Jazz, and Sheila. I played Resident Evil Original, of course. How else would I get this clip? I played WWE 2K25. I played new to me Arcade Paradise, essentially a laundrette simulator. I got another platinum for a game called Stroke the Dick.
Whoa.
I knew you would eventually get that.
Yes. I also played new to me Black Myth Wukong. I don't know what to think about it. It kind of gave me Devil May Cry vibes, but as monkeys. And it's nearly the end of the week. I can now officially say that I have been fired from my job. Haha! Fuck you guys. And so I've been able to watch Scrubs from season 1 to 5 just today. And that concludes my week.
Sir Alex appreciates the silence, now opens the floor for questions and or compliments.
I'm sorry, but it's so hard to like the compulsion to want to make noise when you say everyone quiet. I want to be like,
You're right.
Blow.
This is the form now. You may now speak and make comments.
You also
Oh.
played Save with Carmen.
Shade
No,
with-
I didn't play.
Oh yeah,
Save.
sure. You fucked
Yeah.
off. And we
Oh,
played.
save. Yeah.
He had
Yeah,
to dip out. But so Black Myth Wukong,
Yes.
you like it, kinda?
I
it
don't
looked
think I'm
cool.
into monkeys.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of games that have been that whole like Journey to the West with the monkey dude, and I'm not really into that. The only thing that's appealing to me is that like it does look like the graphics are nice and it looks like it plays really well, but it's just kind of, I can see it being hard to get into just because like the characters and stuff.
Well, another thing that really got me from the get-go was that when it came to the voice lines for the characters when they're talking, it's really out of sync right at the start, and it's just like, okay, this is not pulling me in. This is just making me think, okay. And then there's a line by, I don't know, guess one of the bosses. He says something like, "I'm going to show you my axe." And of course, when he said that, I just thought, he's going to show me his ass? So, yeah, I couldn't take it seriously. I could try it again, but don't think I can take it seriously. Carmen, how was your week?
What? My week has been several weeks. But, well, no, it's been fine. It's been, well, this specific week has been good. It ended on kind of an expensive note with having multiple car repairs in like the span of 24 hours. So over 2 days, but 24 hours. So that was fun, but I've got a lot of things done. Previous to that, I had a brief sort of sadcation to Colorado, where I had a funeral to go to. But I got to see Sean again. Yay! We had lunch. It was good. I had crab and
crab.
shrimps.
Crab.
Yeah. Yeah. It was weird. But I watched one new movie, which was the new Twister. I did not intend to watch it, and I did not expect to like it, but I liked it. It was pretty okay. I watched most of Win or Lose, which is the new Disney animation. That's been
that
pretty.
looks cute.
It is so cute, and it's a really interesting concept because it's sort of like a vignette series where each different episode focuses on a different character within the overall series, and the overall series is every single different angle over the same course of the same week. So it's first the day of this big game, and then it takes you back to the start of the week previous to that game, a softball game. and all the characters are on this softball team or related to people who are on this middle schooler softball team called the Pickles. It's adorable. I did not get to finish the end, or I could have, really, I could have, but I'm working on it. And I played Phasmophobia. I played
Yeah.
Scars Above. Yeah! Played with Shayla Phasmophobia last night. Played a little bit Scars Above. So I had it at some point in time. I've been noticing I'm starting to do a little bit of a Sean here where I collect things and then forget that I collected them. And then I'm like, I have this? I didn't know I had this. So I fired it up. And I'm already like only like an hour and a half, 2 hours in, and I'm already like hooked. Played save. And aside from that, it's just been more of the same usual stuff. So it's been good. And Sheila?
Yes. My week?
Yes. How was it?
Okay.
Her eyes did this.
Good morning.
It's like a frog blink, but with pupil sizes.
Because I opened my eyes really wide, like
Who, me?
me.
Yeah.
Even my ears, like whoop.
Who? Okay.
Okay. So, can I just start out with today, because Jazz got me the most amazing birthday, and my birthday's not till Monday, but birthday lunch with like lots of noodles and pasta. It was delicious.
Oh.
Yeah, that's super yummy. And then I played, so Monster Hunter expand, like, just got its first title update, and so it added a new mode, like a new version of a boss. Are you guys all rolling your eyes because I'm talking about Monster Hunter?
I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm blinking a lot because my eyes are burning.
I'm not rolling my eyes. I'm shaking my head.
Oh nah.
I'm about to stab her in the eyes.
Well, I'll make it quick. The new additions are really cool. I like the armor set that came out. It's like freaking gorgeous. And the new boss is super, super, super fucking hard. Like, so everybody who's been saying Monster Hunter's too easy, go F themselves. And then I also finally picked back up Death Stranding and watched the trailer for Death Stranding 2 like 20 times, and then listened to the song on repeat like 30 times, and tried my hardest not to press the pre-order button on the Sony store because I'm really excited for it. And
If you buy
I-
the deluxe edition,
What if
we can't be friends.
no, why?
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
I'm gonna
I guess don't
cry.
yuck her yum.
watch the news.
I've been watching some behind the scenes stuff for Death Stranding 1 as well, like some documentaries on it, and it was really kind of interesting to see how cultures are, like the difference between Japan, because like ultimately it pulled through, but like when Kojima he talks about how like when he's trying to find a studio, like because he wasn't a publicly traded company, like no one wanted to rent a studio out to this guy, and it actually took like a banker that knew what Metal Gear Solid was, like knew who he was, to go like, you know what, we're gonna sign off on this. So it's interesting to see, like how like video games are still kind of a little bit stigmatized, even now, or that like just like people don't like, I don't know, they people wouldn't want to rent a studio space to Kojima because he's like, I'm not a publicly or video game company. Ugh.
Shayla,
What?
I'm calling you out right here on the podcast.
Okay.
Shayla messaged me earlier this week and was like, does the Death Stranding 2 collection not come with the actual game? And I was like, Sean fucking told us that in the podcast.
Right? She was here on that episode,
I
wasn't
know. I'm like, I'm gonna call her out.
Like, I not only did it talk about like the deluxe edition, but also the collector's edition as well. Like, what?
I was like
Well,
sitting here like, should I call her out? I'm gonna call her out. She was sitting right
I
here.
mean,
I thought you were
actually-
saying like call her like on the phone. I'm like,
Oh,
why
no.
would you
No,
call her?
no.
I like because you even commented on it. That's why I thought it was funny when you were like shocked about it, and I'm like, after you told me
No,
like,
I
oh, I remember him saying that, but I wasn't sure. It was like,
I even said I'm pretty sure Sean said that, but I'm in disbelief because I was
Yeah.
like that much of like, are you sure that's what he said? That's more what I meant it like. Like, are you sure?
it was just
Well-
your first shock. Like, what do
Are
you
you-
mean it hasn't come?
What do
But-
you
Like,
mean?
But it like happened again
you
too, because I'm like, oh,
sure?
don't buy the digital or the deluxe edition. Well, I mean digital deluxe edition, same thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, why? Like we literally talked
Are
about
you
that too.
sure? I'm in
doesn't
denial
come with the
because I
BB.
want it. Oh, and can I say I absolutely like BB is so cute. The scene where he's like, I think he likes me, and BB's got his like little face squished up to the like thing so hard that his nose is like sideways. I was like, "Aw." I really like it. It's just one of those things where I can totally understand why it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's happens to be my cup of tea. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Um And then I also just wanted to mention, I thought a cool idea would be to get one of those under the desk treadmills, and like I'm gonna attempt to I'm gonna put my mocap on and attempt to walk while I play walking simulator. So look forward to that on my
So Death
stream. I
Stranding?
think that'll basically. Well, that's what I'm gonna play, Death Stranding and walk.
Tell me how those go, because I've been wanting one
Yeah,
for
you'll
about
have
a
to.
year. No, probably like 2 years, because
Yeah.
I've yeah.
Yeah, so
They-
I'll talk
they-
about it when I yeah. I've been looking at a couple different ones, so I think I finally narrowed down which one to get. But
Yeah.
so that was my week. Jess, how was your week?
I just imagine like my brain immediately pictured like a Flintstones situation where you're just
Yeah.
like little feet sticking out under the desk. I don't know why you just save your money and just go walk outside, but
All right.
remember
Well, I
when
mean-
walks were a thing instead of walking simulators?
Yeah, but I
Those are
have
great.
my mocap and my 3D model. I want to like do interactive stuff with it, so I thought.
Remember when you could interact with like outside
What is outside?
with
What is
people?
that? Touch grass? What's that?
Anyways, my week was okay. I'm still sick, so I worked from home. Or yeah, I worked from home again this week. But hopefully I'm going back next week. Which I mean, there's still money in my bank account because I haven't gone anywhere to spend it, but my credit cards took a little bit of a beating with some like food delivery, and pretty much just shopping online. I did give myself a day after work where I just went to the video game store and spent the birthday money, like cash that I had, because I don't like having cash. And then people gave me money, like cash, for my birthday, and I'm just like, what do I do with this? So when I went to the store, I'm like, you guys take cash because you
Get
never
rid of
know
it.
anymore. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, take this, and I only had to pay like $25 difference. So I got myself a couple of things, which also is part of like what I did this week. I played. Speaking of missing physical, physical games being cool, I finally got myself an expansion pack for the 64, so I can play Majora's Mask when I get to it.
What are those going for these days?
$500.
They were like around $90 on Amazon.
God damn.
Yeah, and some people had them on eBay for like more or around the same thing. So it's like the place that I went to, like he had one that was like an off-brand one that was around like $50, and then it was $75 for the Nintendo one, and I'm like, well, I don't want to risk an off-brand one because I don't really know. Like I I was like, it's $20. Like, fuck it. So I got
Yeah, especially with something like that. That's kind of like almost
fucking
like an internal component, almost. Like it's hardware. It's messing with the hardware stuff. Like I wouldn't trust
yeah.
that.
No, not when I've had issues with my past 64. So I did some shopping on eBay and got like a couple of games that were also like for cheap, which also require that expansion pack. So I was like, you know what? I'm not just gonna get like for the convenience of doing it online. I'm gonna go to the store when I feel better and just buy it. So I knew they had it there. So I did that. I got myself little Zelda Link Awakening on the Game Boy. Which I don't have a Game Boy, but
The game is awesome.
it is.
You can
But
get a Super Game Boy.
I have a Super Game Boy, which is why I got it, so I can
Well,
play it on
you
the
have a
Super
Game Boy then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
It's a
So
super
big.
one.
I'm gonna get the wires for the Super Nintendo and connect it here with the. I'm gonna need to make some space because all my games are just piled up everywhere. My printer doesn't work anymore, so I can just move it. But I need to like clear up a little bit of space, and then have like more of the games so I can connect them to the capture device because I want to stream. Well, I want to show you guys Claymates, and I'm gonna be able to stream some stuff. Speaking of streaming, I played twice this week after work. I streamed physical. I got myself Ocarina of Time because I had lost my copy, so I've been streaming this bitch, this poopity, Hero of Time. Sean's
Poopity.
been watching, and Shayna's
Poopity.
been watching. So
The
that's been
Adventures of Poopity.
Adventures of Poopity, Hero of Time has been great. I'm going to the Fire Temple soon, so that's a pretty fun one. I got myself a game that I played as a kid. I found it on eBay. I was really happy. I couldn't remember the name of it for the longest time, other than like Walmart brand Rayman fighting vegetables with pitchforks. You can't Google that and find what you're looking for. But when
Oh,
you
no.
come across the title, randomly come across the title and nostalgia hit, I was so happy and I got it. And it's called Tonic Trouble. So I can't wait to play it and relive that. I hope it lives up to the nostalgia memory that I have of it. I also got my order. One of the games was for Sean, so that's gonna go out soon because I still have like Indica to send you as well.
Oh,
But
wow.
the other game, it's in the bag with Indica, and I'm gonna have to send it to you soon. But I got
First thing
myself
that
a
comes
horror
to mind
game,
is drugs.
a game that I have never heard of called Lempo. It's like a horror narrative sort of game. It's not really narrative, but it's got a lot of puzzles. And it's game inspired by old Finnish mythology. And I got not the collector's edition, but the special edition. So I thought it was going to be a box, but then I went back and looked at it and was like, oh, it's not a box set. It's just a special edition. It had this sticker on the cover, which I was able to take it off and I wanted to keep it because it's special.
It's like that's
came
the
with-
whole special edition. Is it has a sticker that says special edition?
No, it came with
That'd be
it came
funny.
with this like
It's a lie.
it came with this map inside, which is really cool. And it came with on the side. I played a little bit of it. It's really like puzzle strong, but I haven't played too much of it yet, so still discovering. And it came with these, which I am imagining are related to the game somehow, but invisible ink with UV light like
Oh,
markers.
cool.
There's like 5 of them. One of them already stopped working, but just to test them out today, I on my wrist wrote poop. You can't see it, but if I shine the light, it's where is it? It says poop.
Poop.
Where the fuck is it? Sorry, I'm like
You kind of had it.
it's the camera is reversed. There. Yeah. Poop.
Poop.
I'm trying to
Your wrist smells like shit.
poop. Anyway,
No, it
Just
smells
got
like
poop on it.
if I put it further,
Yeah.
it shows more. So I'm just having fun writing poop all over furniture in my room.
Oh my god, there's poop on here.
Apparently, it's
Oh.
erasable. On every surface except wood and paper.
Oh.
Did you find that out the hard way?
So that's what it says on the box. And one of my happiest purchases on eBay from a Canadian seller. It was free shipping, so the total cost me like $30 about. I got in the box with a plastic. The only thing it didn't include the expansion pack that it normally includes, but everything else is in the box. Donkey Kong 64.
Donkey Kong.
Ooh, that's
In the box.
awesome.
Yeah. The box is in pretty good like shape. For like the actual original box.
Yeah.
The booklet was in it. The game looks pretty decent. Like it doesn't have like sun damage. The chip looks in pretty good condition. It's tested. It works. I haven't tested it yet, but I can't wait. Me and Donkey Kong.
Or Donkey Kong.
And
We're gonna talk Donkey Kong later.
I forgot to pull them out, but if you give me 2 seconds, I
Yeah,
will.
while you're doing that,
Oh.
Carmen, do you want to do your show and tell real quick?
Show and tell, and I'm gonna grab the other thing.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I have a show and tell, and it's the viral TikTok.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, I know, but honestly, it's a cheapo.
Okay, I'm back. We can stop. I'm kidding.
No, come back. It's a little cheapo projector that I am really excited about. Now, I tried to play games with it. It did not work. Come back, Sean.
Oh, you just want Sean to come back, right?
Okay, well, come back, Alec, too. Also,
well, Alec, you're still here.
well,
Can I mention?
yes. What? Can you what? Oh, switch.
Go ahead. After.
Little cheapo projector, right? It's like advertised. Usually, they say that it's like $50 worth $50, and you can get it on sale for like 30-ish. But then I got another extra amount off, so I got it for like $22, right? And it's not exactly high def or anything, but coming from you can't see it, but coming from, if you could see in the corner, my little like 20-inch TV, like characters had freckles that I never knew about. I'm seeing detail that, even though it's not high def, that I've never seen before, because I've been spending years just watching TV on like a small little thing, or on my phone, or on my tablet. So going from that to like 6 feet across is definitely an improvement. So I'm loving it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, even if it's an El Cheapo, I definitely, I feel like I love the use of this, and it does play video games, but I can't read anything for shit. So it's like a mixed usage there. I have these.
Is it just me, or is like the idea of playing video games on a giant ass screen like way better than actually doing it? Like I remember when I was a kid, and like I'd always have like a little, like, I don't know, 25-inch TV or whatever, and I'd like always dream about, oh, what if I had like a big ass 50-inch TV or whatever to play my games on, like a big screen. And like as an adult, like I have one, and it's miserable. It's because it's so much harder, because like the HUD is like all spread out, and like it's harder to keep track what the fuck is going on. It's like,
because you're like,
it's not actually as great as you would think it would be.
It's gimmicky.
It's very gimmicky. Like it is cool, but it's not efficient. Like it doesn't actually, it doesn't work out too well.
It is great for movies though, because like
Yes.
it's so stupid that I had like the big one. Anybody who knows me knows I'm very easily entertained, or very easily like enchanted with something. But I had big saucer eyes the first night I had this thing, because I was like, wow, this is so cinematic. Like I feel like it
Batteries.
And you can take your shadow and make it look like you're picking characters' noses.
No.
That's me and my friend's favorite thing to do, is like we'd put the projector up on the wall and lay in the bed, and like we could like put our fingers up and make it look like we're picking the characters' noses and stuff.
No, I would not do that. No, but to have this big thing, man, everybody get a projector. That's my thought.
No.
And do it.
Before you talk about your week, Sean, can I also quick shout out, when I mentioned it was my birthday, Alec brought me Romancevania.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love that game.
I know.
You're gonna fucking
so
love that game.
I know.
You should stream it.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely.
I want to see. I want to see who you
Yeah.
date.
Yeah.
I just gave
can't
you another
wait.
excuse not to play Death Stranding, so
Wow.
Wow.
you
Do you
stream
not
it.
like it?
Do I not like Death Stranding? I played it 3,
Yeah.
4 times. Of course I like it.
Okay.
If you stream it, it must be on the day.
And also, I didn't get a chance during your week, Shayla, but happy early birthday to you.
Thank
Yeah. Now it is back to Jazz and her week.
Oh, I just wanted to show that I've officially completed the collection.
Oh
That
shit!
is
Yeah. So
colors that are true. and-
running through it real quick because of Sean, I had this one for a while, which
Mhm.
is still my favorite of the series. And I went to the store looking for one of them, and I can't remember, but instead I found the first one. So
Nice.
since I had it digital, I bought it physical because, must please the ward gods. And then
Good.
I found this one on Amazon. Finally, Amazon had it for cheap, so I got it. Ow! I just hit myself in the
It's
head.
rated mature. How did I not know that?
It's got gay stuff and kissing, so
Oh,
they had to rate it. Or it's probably because he works in the weed farm. I'm
that's
guessing.
probably
That
why.
would do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to cut the weed. And then of course I had purchased Double Exposure, like pretty much close to when it came out. And finally, with my order from Video Game Plus, I got Lempo, I got the game for Sean, and I had to add this one to the bag because I only have it through PS Plus. So when PS Plus takes it off the catalog, I can tell them to get fucked and I can keep playing it. And I officially have the whole collection. So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't have the
awesome.
remaster, but I don't want the remaster because I have the first game. Why would I care about the remaster? Haha.
And it's one of those weird ones where it's like it doesn't look better, it just looks different, and it's weird. Like,
Yeah.
why?
I liked the style of the first one, and
No.
it sparked such a good series that like it doesn't need to be all pretty and no.
Well, that's the thing though. It's not like they made it even look better. It just looks a little different.
Yeah.
Who,
So I want to
why?
play through. I want to play once I finish True Colors because that's the only one that I haven't actually finished yet. I want to play through like all of them again. But yeah,
Nice.
that's all.
And shout out to Survival Horror Fan. It is their birthday. Happy
Oh,
birthday!
yeah!
And it happened to fall on the
Happy
Wardcast day, so that's
A
awesome.
fellow Aries, yay!
In celebration, we will do this.
What are these things? Out of my way! Yeah, that's real fucking cute.
There you go. Celebration. Why do you take like personal offense to that, Jazz?
Because I still have to see them.
Wow, the Legos exist. At least this way you can see them blown into pieces.
I
So-
go look for Horizon merch, and I just everywhere they're like, "Oh, look at the Legos," and I'm like, "I don't want the Legos."
I heard something really interesting about that the developers for Horizon when I was like listening to the behind the scenes stuff for Death Stranding, and that apparently they were the ones because like since Kojima lost his engine that he spent all that time working on when he left Konami, he needed a new engine, and they're the ones that gave them like, here's the source data, here's our engine, use it, because I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh,
Yeah. So they were the ones that
We don't know
Yeah.
yet if we're mad at Gorilla or not.
mhm.
We'll have to wait and see.
yeah.
Sean,
Hola.
how's your week?
Wow.
Meh.
Mine is a short week. I mean, I spent the whole week really just working on all the goddamn fucking news. I got ahead of things. Like I got almost like everything I needed done about like by I don't even know, like maybe Wednesday or something like that. And then, I was looking good, everything was great, and then boom, Nintendo shits the bed. And it's this huge fucking thing, and there's tons of fucking news. Like, oh fuck. So yeah, that's been my week, is dealing with Nintendo stuff, really. So yeah, and you'll see what I was
They
working
shit
on
the bed.
in a little bit when we get into the news. But yeah, working on that, working on some dual stuff again. I didn't get to do a whole lot. I didn't even get to the casting thing like I wanted to, just because of all the news stuff going on. But yeah, just kind of podcast stuff. I played Save with you guys, and it's funny too because you mentioned like it was hard to look up your was it tonic your
Tonic
game
Trouble.
tonic. Yeah, so like it's hard to look that up because it's like this generic name. Try to look up Save. see if you can find that game online.
Oh
I did a whole segment
yeah.
on it and had to look up pictures and stuff. And
Yeah,
I
it's
was like,
Yeah.
stupid.
save the game, and it kept getting fucking like typewriters
Save the
and shit. And I
game.
was like,
Yeah.
no.
Watch.
Well done. That was not a very wise choice
Yeah.
for
Your,
the
your
game.
computer
Yeah.
specifically, Sean, is
I'm,
They
like,
should have
I'm
called it
Google
like
clean. I can
Hold
do
on.
it.
They-
I have ways.
they should have called it like Save something,
The horror.
Save the
Or
boat
save the
experience,
something.
or yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
like something.
Anything.
Like
Save
you
your friends
need
from the
more than
zombies.
just save it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good. But anyways, yeah, so I played that with you guys. I also played a couple rounds solo just to kind of get a feel for things. I wanted to see if if it saved in between
Save my
the
ass.
missions. I didn't do the second mission because I wanted to wait for you guys. I just did the first one over a couple of times. But I did that. I quit out and I went back in, and yeah, it doesn't save anything. What the fuck? The game is called Save and it doesn't save. Like, what in the hell is going on there? But yeah, I do like that game a lot. I think it's really cool. Solo and with friends.
Yeah.
Played Repo with Jazz and Shayla. That was fucking ridiculous and fun.
Can I just
McDonald's.
say the next day I was like, I need to order some fucking McDonald's.
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 Oh, it's like-
And I played a little bit of Castlevania Lords of Shadow, trying to get that platinum. And that was my week. I got a show and tell. Alex sent me something. I don't know what it is. It seems like a book.
Can't wait.
So let's
Open
find
it.
out.
It's
It's gonna be
paperwork.
porn.
I've only
Yeah,
seen
it's-
one yaoi book. Come on.
Is it gonna be inappropriate?
Comic? Do I?
It's Dino Crisis,
Oh.
the PSM cover. Man, I miss
Cool.
PSM. Like, they used to do this really cool art all the time. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you still have your magazines?
I do. I have a shit ton
Hence
of them.
why I got that one.
Monkeys. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool. Thank you, Alec.
You're
Awesome.
welcome. I think
Dino
anyone
Crisis.
left. Carmen, when's your birthday?
And there's also cardboard. It's green cardboard.
September 17th.
Okay.
Virgo.
Should have another job by then, so yeah, should be fine.
Oh, wow, Alec.
You don't need to, but thank you.
Okay, dokie. It is.
Guess what time it is?
Time for
Guess
some
fucking what time it is.
Woo!
It needs a
Tell us
bit.
all.
It's
Oh, well. Before we get into the news, couple of supports coming in. Thank you, Survival Horror Fan, gave us 5, and this tipping canoes.
Mine was just to celebrate Survival Horror Fan's birthday.
Wow, Lemon character and Baby Lemon
I know, it looks so stupid in the chat.
blowing apart. What the fuck?
If you're on YouTube, I have the YouTube chat, and there's an actual little dude with a trumpet.
Wow.
Aw,
And
cute.
Survival Horror Fan as well. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
I had to go look at it.
So you guys may choose. We have 2 offerings for the celebratory videos. Would you like to see Lego Aloy get murdered, or good old Ashley? Let me know.
Survival Horror Fan gets to choose.
For both?
Or you can just play one. The other one was just a happy birthday.
I think we need to see Aloy die again. And
Yeah, well,
Ashley die.
I mean, since you're giving them both to Survival Horror Fan, we can just do them both. Here we go.
I will fucking stab you. Watch this. Shut up. What are these things? Out of my way. Yeah, that's real fucking cute.
And the damn chat things keep lingering on the screen. I apologize. I don't know why they're not going away. I think my mouse is dying. Like the clickety clicks, they're not working.
I just
They're not working properly. I don't like it.
They're not on the screen here for me. Anyway.
Oh, they weren't popping up. I mean, they're not now, but they were
They were
overlapping
popping
the
up, but
video.
they're not here now.
Yeah, I got rid of them, but they weren't supposed to be on screen
So-
during the video. I tried to click them off. They didn't want to go away. What?
I accidentally clicked on something on YouTube, don't ask, but there was like this jazzy tune going on in the background, and
Jazzy.
I completely thought it was part of the I completely thought it was part of the stream, and I was like, oh, it has music. That's great. That's a nice change. It was just me.
Wonderful. I'm just kidding. So yeah, news. We got lots and lots and lots and lots and fucking lots of news. It's gonna be a big one today for the news stuff. So we're gonna dive right into it. We're gonna start off with Baldur's Gate and Larian Studios. Wizards of the Coast crack down on Baldur's Gate 3 mods, but Larian CEO stands up for the little guy. We all know by now that Larian, developers of the massively successful Baldur's Gate 3, is one of the most based developers out there, often doing the right thing and standing up against modern-day nonsense for the sake of the health and quality of the industry. Praise where praise is due. With that said, a mod titled Baldur's Village was created for Stardew Valley, which adds characters from Baldur's Gate 3 into the game. The mod was well received, and Larian CEO Sven Vink took note and praised the creator of the mod, saying, quote, "So much love went into this. Amazing work." A few weeks later, a spokesperson from Wizards of the Coast, the company owning the rights to Dungeons and Dragons in Baldur's Gate 3, contacted Nexus Mods, who were hosting the mod, and issued a DMCA takedown. Upon hearing about this, Vink took to X and said, quote, "Free quality fan mods highlighting your characters in other game genres are proof your work resonates and a unique form of word of mouth. In my honest opinion, they shouldn't be treated like commercial ventures that infringe on your property. Protecting your IP can be tricky, but I do hope this gets settled. There are good ways of dealing with this. Good on you, Sven. Hopefully, Wizards of the Coast will take into consideration what the Baldur's Gate 3 creator said and embrace its fan community's passion and support." Seriously, that dude and Larian are amazing. Like,
Right?
I don't know what the hell is with them, but we need more people like that in the
Don't
world.
you just want to fuck him?
Integrity.
Oh, Alec.
No, Alec.
No.
No, but props on him. That's super cool. I wish it's one of those things where I get why they are the way they are, like they're too company minded, but yeah, you need people like Sven to like have the like you need a Sven wall to go like, hey, no, this is okay. Just calm down.
Yeah,
If
like,
decency means fuckable, by the way, then your standards are too low.
wow.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, like this is what I don't understand is like literally there's positions within these companies that they're paying these people that should be kind of balancing what you were just talking about. Like there is a fine line there of like, okay, yeah, you're a company, you're a business, you have to protect your IP, but also you need to kind of weigh things and be like, okay, well, the fan community is doing this. Is this damaging? Is it helpful? And kind of finding a balance between the two. And like you're getting paid to do that job, and these people aren't doing that job. They're just like, oh, they're taking our IP, fuck them, not, flag it, bring it down, DMCA them, and that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Their job is literally to figure this kind of shit out, and maximize the effectiveness of the business in terms of like growing your community and your audience and connecting with them, and also protecting your business and
Right.
your intellectual properties. You don't
It,
just say, no, don't touch our
yeah,
stuff. That's not a
yeah.
good look, but that's what most companies do.
It reminds me of a good way to handle it is like when Capcom stepped in when they were like making that Resident Evil 2 remake, and Capcom stepped in and said, "Hey, you got to take this down, but we'd love to invite you to our studio and have some input and like come be a part of, like and like it's like ultimately we have to take it down, but we're not going to be a dick about it, like in that case they were like, well, come be a part of this, or we'd love to hear what you have to say, because that could have been a huge disaster same way if they had just been like, nope, DMCA, fuck you.
Why don't they be like, have a job?
I mean, they kind of did
Like,
that.
Mhm.
bring them in, like bring your um, sort of like competition into the fold.
Well, that's kind of,
Win-win.
in a way, that's kind of what they did. Like, that's what was cool about it was like, this team was making the fan version of the Resident Evil 2 remake, and then Capcom was making an official version. So they're like, hey, we need to shut you down, but hey, come to our office, we'll talk about it. And they kind of shared ideas because like that team was connecting with the Resident Evil audience, and they had some great ideas that Capcom probably borrowed to some degree. And Capcom also had a conversation with them about, they probably gave them feedback and ideas and whatnot. So they both connected and kind of helped each other out. And
But do
then,
compensate.
they ended up making their own game. It didn't do all that great, but in my opinion, I thought it was pretty solid for a little indie survival horror game. And I feel
Yeah,
like it's extra cool because Capcom kind of is spiritually involved, because they did kind of sit down with that team and kind of have
yeah,
a meeting of the mind. So it's just kind of a really cool thing for developers to put in the effort to do that, to connect with their fans, with the community and stuff like that, because clearly those were passionate people, that wanted to
right,
make this remake for free. So like it was really beneficial for Capcom to connect with them, and it was a really cool experience for the fans to be able to go and hang out with Capcom and pick their brains and
right.
stuff like that. Like that shit's really cool, and companies should be more open to doing things like that because it goes a long way on both ends. So yeah.
Yeah,
And nowadays Capcom's completely fucking 180'd on that. Now they're striking down mods and saying like there's certain mod, don't put in the sexy mods and blah, 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 and they're striking down like YouTube channels that are doing certain mods, and going to Nexus mods and telling them to remove content and stuff like that. They've completely flipped around. Now they're policing it. It's fucking
stupid.
stupid. Yeah. Anyway, anything else on Larian and the does anybody play Stardew Valley? Like I didn't even really know what I was looking at there.
No, but
I
I've
don't, but I know enough of it.
Yeah.
Like it's a it's interesting because I could see how it could lend itself to it really well, because it's very much like a Harvest Moon meets dating simulator. So a big part of Stardew Valley is developing romances and relationships, kind of like what you do in Baldur's Gate. So like I can see why that would be a really cool mod for Stardew Valley.
That's cool. Nice. But yeah, you saw the graphics in the video. Like it looked really good. Like the sprites that they put
Yeah.
together, it was awesome. It's really
Oh.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we move on to the next news article?
Oh.
All right.
no.
The Last of Us. Why does Naughty Dog want to kill you, bury you, and defecate on your grave?
Oh, we made a game with The Last of Us 2. We made certain creative decisions that got us a lot of hate. A lot of people love it, but a lot of people hate that game.
Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
When it comes to The Last of Us, you have to look at the game's track record. The Last of Us? Great. The Last of Us Remastered? Okay, not needed, but yeah, cool. The Last of Us Part 2? The Last of Us Part 1? Why? The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered? Excuse me, what is this? How about another actual game? Okay, that was rough. So what's next? Jesus fucking hell. So we have game, remaster, divisive sequel, remake, remaster, remaster combo pack. This is The Last of Us Legacy. Yeesh. So to be fair, this is a rumor, but something is in the works. Naughty Dog is in fact releasing something Last of Us related for the PS5 that cost $119.99 US, which, whatever it is too expensive. All signs and rumors point to this being a Last of Us 1 remake and Last of Us 2 remastered double pack with all the Last of Us 2 remastered DLC. Makes sense, not $119.99, but yeah. Rest in peace, Last of Us. We hardly knew you. So who's excited for another fucking repackaged remaster remake of
Okay,
The Last of Us?
so first of all, I've never played that game, so I would
It's good.
benefit from having it re-released, but everything I've heard about the creator, he sounds like such a jackass, and he just continues to be more and more of a jackass, and it's like, like, I don't want to give that guy money. I'll just like borrow somebody else's copy.
It's really weird though, because like back in the days of like the original Last of Us game, like he seemed great. Like I don't know what the fuck happened if like he like gotten
Maybe
to groups that kind of swayed his opinion, or if the popularity
maybe
went
he's
to his
just
head, or like something
yeah.
happened that completely changed his perspective on the world, and it was not for the better.
I wonder if it's just that like because fandoms can like fan bases can become so toxic that like it's just like he's just adapted to the negative aspects of being popular and is just like so jaded that he just is like being dumb, like he's not trying, like he's not thinking, like cuz I don't understand. I've seen so many recent interviews with him and it's just like, why are you talking like that? Like what are you doing?
Yeah, like
Do you
that clip
care?
is so fucking stupid. Like you might as well just be like, yeah, fuck the fans and what they think. We don't give a shit. You know, like what kind of a perspective is that to have as a creator, especially when your community loves your games for like your storytelling, you know, so like for one reason or another, you know, they connect with the story and it resonates with them, you know, so there's an emotional attachment to some degree. So when the creator comes out and is basically, yeah, I don't give a fuck what you think, I don't care about you, like that's kind of fucked up.
And again, that's why I think it sounds like he's probably just been way too affected by the negative. Like he sounds just as toxic as like the worst part of toxic fandoms can get.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can hear 100 words of praise, but sometimes that one negative comment is the one that sticks with you and just completely like ruins your outlook on things or just fucks with you, you know? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of unfortunate, but it sounds like that's what he's kind of probably starting to fall prey to and become himself, like added to him, like he's adding to it at this point.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, like that video says, it's just like the Last of Us went from being like this singular, iconic, mega hit that's like amazing in everything that it did. Like it played well, it looked amazing, the story was great, people loved the characters for the most part. Not you know, everybody's not going to like everything, but for the most part, it connected with a lot of people, did really well for good reason. And then like the legacy was just completely fucking destroyed before it even got a chance. You know, like you look at the life of that franchise, and there's more remakes and remasters than actual games, and the individual games are hit and miss. One was great, and one was so divisive that people absolutely hated it, or you know, or they loved it or whatever. But like to have one huge success, one debatable failure, and then a whole slew of fucking ports, remakes, and remasters is just like, it's sad. It's really disappointing to see them just destroy that fuck, to like run that franchise into the ground before it even went anywhere. You know, I wish they would have just stopped at one, you know, leave the legacy alone. It was great. People will love it. They'll remember it. They'll remember Naughty Dog for making it. Everything's great. And we move on. But now it's like you look at The Last of Us and this is what you see. You see this shitty path that they took and how they just kind of ruined everything, and it sucks.
Feels kind of like a one trick pony. And it also feels like he's the type of creator that starts, let's say, like banning individual, like feeding into that kind of negativity, like banning individual accounts of like literally fans.
He's flaming the haters.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like, stop. Like, don't pay attention to your ops. You want to lift up your actual good fans, but instead, if you continue to just focus on the negative, that's where you're going.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on The Last of Us or the combo pack? Anybody interested? Like, I know, Shayla, you mentioned that you might be picking up the combo pack if it's a real thing. And really, you'd pick it up at $120?
Oh hell no! I didn't say anything about picking it up. I'm saying like it's unfortunate that he's such a dick, because if this had been good,
Oh,
I would be the target audience. I've yet to fucking play the game. So if he wasn't such a doucher and the deal wasn't so shitty, I probably would have been like, "Oh, I'll jump on the hype train now." Like, cool. It just so happens to be a re-release. I'll just play that. But at this point, I'd almost rather just like find a pre-owned copy of one of the older, more recommended editions and just play that, because it's like, fuck you, guy. You're not getting my money then.
yeah. Fair enough.
I
Anybody
feel
else?
I
Oh.
feel like anyone that would be following the series would have already played the first game, so there's no audience pretty much for a dual pack, and it's not needed. It's so stupid, because at this point, people who know Last of Us and who are following it have played Last of Us.
But then again, it just had a Netflix series, so like I feel there are a lot of people, kind of like how The Walking Dead were, where it's like Walking Dead was already popular and a lot of people knew about it, and then the TV show came out, and all of a sudden you get this new audience of people that are like, "Hey, maybe I would read the comic." So I bet there probably are people that discovered it through the TV show, and was like kind of curious about playing the game, and it's like a
But
perfect opportunity if it wasn't so like horribly expensive and all the publicity surrounding it was shit.
But that's another issue, is that people who've watched the series, the first season has been out for probably a couple of years now, I think. And like they would have watched it and they would have been like, "Oh, this is based off a game." Like my boss watched the series and told me like she'd been watching this show with her husband, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like I watched it too. It's based off a video game that I really liked." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know it was based off a video game," because she's like, "I didn't even know." So some people
Yeah.
don't even know that it's based off a video game, and then when they
Yeah.
find out, they would have already gone to play the game, and everything that Sean has mentioned is the issue here. Is there somebody's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, go play the game." They go play the game
which
and they're like,
one?
"Yeah, which one do I fucking get?"
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
like at this point, if they figured out which one to get, then like at this point into
You get
how
the
far
last one.
this at this point where the series is, a dual pack isn't needed. Like it's
Yeah.
like they're releasing the second season. By this point, anybody who's even on the show has already gotten it. And like they should be focusing on different yeah, no, they should just drop it. And
It feels like they're trying to refresh it for every new generation of people who might come into the game new or looking for it new. Like you mentioned, the people who find out about it through the series. But games are not like clothes, like it doesn't have to necessarily, you don't need to get a new one, a new version of the same thing as you age. It doesn't.
Did you just say games are like clothes?
I said they're not like clothes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
I literally
what?
said, okay, imagine this. My analogies might be ass, but imagine this. You have a little baby toddler, right? This little baby toddler likes to wear a pink shirt and blue jeans, right? And they like that color combo, and that's what they wear. And then as they age up, as they age up, they may still like to wear the pink top and the blue jeans, but they need them in a larger size. They need them in a larger, they need an updated version. That's not the same unless you're.
I didn't want to drop my Donkey Kong, so I had to stop.
Am I making sense? Because
I think all we got out of that was that video games were not like clothes.
they're
Yeah.
not like clothes.
I was gonna make a
They're not
stupid
like-
joke as soon as you started that. I was just, the only my phone just doorbelled.
Is there somebody at the
The
door?
the first thing that just popped into my head when you started that was just like, with every new generation, an Ellie is born. You lone wolf. And I was like, yeah, by the way,
Listen,
I've been rewatching Buffy.
That's the point. And unless it has to do with like compatibility issues, like, you know, generation of console, you don't need. And even then, I cannot explain it. I'm trying to explain it, but it doesn't need.
Well said.
You don't need a brand spanking new one in order to attract the brand spanking new audience. They can deal with the old and like kind of discover that the I don't want to say nostalgia because they wouldn't have had it, but kind of discover the vintageness. You know what I mean? Not
Like
saying
at
that
at
this
the
is
end
old
of the
enough to
day,
be
had
vintage.
they even done this the way that they should have done it, and
No.
like all we had was Last of Us 1 and 2, no remakes, no remasters, not all these ports and all this bullshit. And then we're here today, and then there's a combo pack, and it was what it is now. It was a full-blown remake and a remaster of 2 in a combo pack now, and this was the only time that they revisited it.
It would make a lot more sense.
It would make a lot more sense, but even then, it still wouldn't justify a $120 price tag.
It's my wedding ring.
So, like, this just does not fucking work on any level. It's nonsense. It's crazy. So yeah, it just sucks. And like this is coming from like a massive fucking Last of Us fan. I love The Last of Us. I don't even know if that's accurate though, because like I don't like I love the first game, and I'm kind of split on the second game. Like I liked playing it, and I like kind of experiencing the story. I don't like what they did with the story, but like it kind of, I don't know, like I used to be a Last of Us fan. I don't know if I am anymore. And it's like I want to defend the franchise, but you can't. I mean, you're just kind of lying to yourself if you're saying that, you know, it's a good series or it's in a good place or whatever. It just isn't.
I'm having a blast going through it for the first time, going through the old, you know, the very original first version.
Well, enjoy it while you can, because it's all downhill from there. But yeah, so now we're still talking about Naughty Dog in this next news article. So this is a companion news article. It gets
This
worse.
is going to get compared to.
Naughty Dog's fall from grace is solidified in the 9th generation of consoles. Many prominent game studios are completely falling apart, including BioWare, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Warner Bros., Square Enix, Konami, Obsidian, and many more. Layoffs are in the news feeds on the regular, and for good reason. Now it looks like Naughty Dog is joining the club. It's now been confirmed that the developer's forthcoming release, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, is not releasing until 2027 at the earliest. This will likely result in a PS6 release with a potentially scaled back PS5 version. Trust me, this is not a good idea. This means Naughty Dog completely missed the 9th generation with no new content to offer during that period. Just a bunch of unwanted rehashings of previous releases, including The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, a $70 PS3 remake released with less content than the original, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, a 2-pack of PS4 ports including Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy, and The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which isn't even a remaster. The graphics were not upgraded at all. The game simply got a frame rate boost, a resolution increase, and a couple of extra features. Yet it's clearly labeled a remaster. This isn't a remaster. This is a remaster.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
This was Naughty Dog's entire offering for this generation of consoles. It's a far cry from genre-defining originals like Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, the original Last of Us, and Uncharted. And what was their last non-remake slash remaster slash port? The Last of Us Part 2, which was widely criticized, very divisive, and sold far less than the first title. What's worse is the future doesn't look any better. Their upcoming title, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, which should be the course correction for Naughty Dog, is likely to be even more divisive than The Last of Us Part 2, jumping right into tackling religion with a shaved head angry girl boss protagonist that everyone is sure to love. Oh, and remember that time the voice actor from Intergalactic antagonized the fans? Way to put your best foot forward. Yeah. So, I mean, we kind of already talked about Naughty Dog in depth, but like it looks like it's just going to get worse from here. And that interview clip that I played from Neil Druckmann last time was like his last interview, so that's his current mindset, his perspective today. That's where he's at mentally, and like he's making this game and he doesn't give a shit about what fans think, and he's tackling even more sensitive issues, and the fucking voice actress is like fucking shitting on the fans and like creating all this drama and shit. Like it's not going to get any better from here is my point. Like things are going to continue, the fire's going to continue to spread. And when you're a fucking company and you're trying to run a successful business and you don't release a new piece of content in a 8-year span of time, that's got to be pretty damaging on your business. So, and all those the three titles, those ports that they did release could not have generated that much revenue for them. So, and they've had one or two games that they had in development that got canceled, so that's a bunch of money that they funneled into projects that just went nowhere. So it's they're probably not going to be around for too much longer if they keep going this route.
From a business standpoint, it just sounds so bad and so disrespectful too. Like not just to the fans, but like to the company that's supporting you, to say like, yeah, I'm just gonna fuck off and take as long as I need to make the next game when you've got, I'm gonna bring it up, but Death Stranding 2, they like Kojima basically got a blank check from Sony and he made sure that like a game is coming out, like we're getting Death Stranding 2 this year. So you're telling me that they're gonna like waste that much company money? It's like it sounds more like a fucking fraud than like I don't know. It sounds more like they're being scammers than
They're
anything.
being naughty.
Well, it seems like they're going to fall into the same trap that like a lot of these big publishers are falling into, where it's like they overinvest in a single title, and they inject it with a bunch of political bullshit, and then it fails, and they lose fucking $200 million or whatever. Like you can only do that so many times, and that's exactly what's going to happen here, because like there's all this controversy, political bullshit, everybody's shitting on the director of the game, the voice, like they don't like the actor that's playing the lead role in the game. So like there's all this negativity around it. So what do you think's going to happen when the game finally comes out? You think a bunch of people are going to go buy it? No. And if this is the game that they've been focusing on, like we didn't get a game over these last 8 years because they've been working on this game. So that's fucking 8 or 10 years of development and several $100 million for a game that is definitely going to fail out the gate. Like, yikes.
It's Concord all over again.
Yeah. It's not a uniquely Naughty Dog thing though. Like I said, like although like I did the research and you look at the offerings from all those companies, like Square Enix has been closing studios and their games have been doing bad. Even Final Fantasy Remake Rebirth is not performing well. Like just all these big companies, like they're releasing failure after failure after failure, and they're investing more and more and more money. It's like
They got greedy.
the scales are not going in their favor, and these companies can't maintain that for very long. So they're all going to either have to figure this shit out real quick and turn it around, which is unlikely, or all these big publishers are going to start falling off. And that's really sad, because these are all like the publishers that I grew up with, that I used to love, that, you just hear the name and you're like, oh shit, that game's going to be amazing. All
They
these
got,
companies are no longer going to exist.
in all the wrong areas, they got greedy. And in all the it feels like celebrities, and it's gotten to that point because games are so big. um you have the era of a certain main cast of A-listers, and they kind of age out, and then you have them replaced with another sort of generation of A-listers, and then they age out, and then you have another one. Yes, games are yes, yes, they are. Okay. They're celebrities.
You
They're
know I'm
not.
gonna be a dick, right?
They are celebrities. It's fine.
Close.
I would expect nothing less. Um, but I'm saying that we already know that they've been focusing on the wrong thing for far too long. We already know that they are just trying to line their pockets. We know this, but what's going to happen is this rise of maybe smaller or hopefully what I hope will happen is that all the small indie developers that actually do still have that passion and everything will rise up, and the rest will fall off, and we'll just have to rely on the new developers, the new publishing houses that actually cater to the story first and the experience first, rather than trying to make something too shiny for its own good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously something has to change, either they'll course correct, and I mean, they're not all going to do that, but maybe some of them will course correct and survive, and like Capcom did it mostly. Konami could do it depending on what happens. So like there are companies that could do it. But I think it's far more likely to be kind of like what you said. It just, the landscape is going to change. All the dinosaurs, these big, massive, these like publishers that we grew up with, that kind of established the foundation of the video game industry, and why people love it so much. They're just going to kind of disappear. They're all going to be gone, and then we're going to have, basically an indie space, which, I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily good or even better. It could be worse. Like the budgets are going to shrink, the teams are going to be smaller. So, like this is why you see in the indie space, a lot of the games that come out are going to be, open betas, early access, things like that, because they need the money now to continue to fund the thing. So like as you're playing it for the first time, they're going to be buggy and broken and janky, and they're going to have maybe no voice acting. Like they're going to be much smaller um experiences with less luxuries that we used to be kind of expecting, in terms of like high quality voice acting, well written scripts, large environments, deep gameplay. These indie developers are going to have to release things that are not polished, and they're going to have to pick and choose, like, what are we going to focus on, because we can't do it all. Are we going to focus on a narrative? Are we going to spend the extra money to have good voice talent and sacrifice gameplay over here? They kind of have to pick and choose what they're going to do. So it's going to dramatically change how we experience games, and like some people might fall off because those expectations aren't going to be met anymore. Video games aren't going to be what people are expecting. So, you're going to start bleeding, tons of numbers from different audiences, and the industry will shrink. It's just like, it's a slippery slope. Like things could course correct, things could completely disappear. Like the industry could crash and disappear entirely. Like that's kind of where we're at. Like that's how serious things are right now.
Right. When you say that something like whether it gets better or worse, when you said like, we're on that cusp, it might get better, might get worse, that depends on your perspective of what you value in games.
Kind of.
Exactly what you said. And I feel like naturally there would be some sort of cap of where um, if a publisher or if they get too big, then they're at risk of this sort of hubris where they think that their fans are going to love them absolutely no matter what, no matter what kind of shit they put out, as long as it's shiny, right? So if you live underneath that cap, then you might get good things, and the smaller companies will rise up. They'll get bigger budgets because they'll have that support, they'll have that love, because people see that they have that passion. So there's sort of
I don't know
there
that
is
that's
a
even
limit.
true though, because it was kind of like a perfect storm in terms of like the video game industry kind of growing up and becoming what it is today. You had these big publishers today that we've been talking about. Once upon a time they were little small, like every developer was a little indie developer, and with that came lower expectations, and like the audiences kind of grew up with them and supported them more and more, and the budgets would rise with the popularity, and it kind of culminated in the AAA industry, because you had people that invested over time, and game after game the budgets got bigger, the audiences got bigger, the expectations got higher, and it just kept getting to be more and more and more. But they built these reputations based on, they got this loyalty because they were making quality content. And then they just kind of hit a ceiling where they're like, oh, we can, people just love us because we're us. But that's not the case. Like the audience loves you because you made these 10 games that were all fucking amazing, right? As soon as you stop making those games and you just make whatever the fuck you want, and you just want to tell a political perspective or whatever the fuck you're trying to do, like that's going to go away. Like people aren't just going to buy your game because you're BioWare. They're going to buy your game because of what BioWare means to them. It means quality. It means good writing. It mean whatever it is, it means something to the audience. So when that goes away, BioWare doesn't fucking mean anything. People are not going to buy a BioWare game because it says BioWare if the last 3 games you put out are shit, or they're not delivering on what BioWare games used to be in the past. They're just the audience is going to go somewhere else. So, but like, since we're tearing down those pillars, and indie games are going to have to restart that cycle where they're little indie developers and they have to build that audience and grow and grow and grow. I just don't think we have an environment to build it up the way that we did before, because expectations are so much higher. The video game audience, in a way, is kind of snobby at this point because it's been around for so long, and AAA games and graphics and all these things have gotten so big that we can't meet these expectations at a lower level. So like you won't have the buy-in, you won't have the ability to grow like that anymore. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's how it seems to me.
I
I
think
hope I hope I hope it turns around.
Right. I think a few things you missed might, or sorry, a few things you said, I feel were just a few, might be a miss because you can still get them, which is story, scripts, maybe voice acting. These sort of lower tech things you could still have that in a lower budget title. You can hopefully the people making it still could produce. You could still have an excellent, deep, rich story with a smaller game. I believe it.
You can, but like I cover this though. Like what I'm saying is, like, when you're an indie team and you don't have a big team and you don't have a big budget, you have to pick what your focus is going to be. You can't have everything. So like, you're going to have to make some kind of sacrifice. Are you going to try to do everything and release it broken in a beta where you're going to fix it as it goes along? And even with that, you're probably going to have to be like, okay, well, do we want to pay more for writers and actors at the sacrifice of, game mechanics and, creative gameplay elements or whatever, because, they only have so much money to give to employees to work on these specific things. So like it's very rare that an indie developer is going to be able to do all those things. So like maybe you have a really good narrative driven, high quality voiced game, but it plays like shit or is really buggy or whatever. And then you can have the opposite where there's like a lot of indie games are the opposite, where there's basically no story and they invest their time and energy into making something interesting. And they're trying to figure out like things, unique ways of gameplay and mechanics and things like that. And that's why the indie scene is so great, is because there is experimentation there. But that's the thing, is like most games are probably going to be more gameplay driven, which is okay. But I do like story driven games too. But if you have to pick gameplay or story, gameplay is probably going to win, and we're going to kind of lose that element of the industry, which honestly is a really big part of it these days. Like most games in the AA, AAA space are very narrative driven. They're very cinematic, and that side of it could completely go away if there's, if you have to pick and choose between gameplay and narrative. But yeah,
True.
we'll get the fuck away from this. This isn't even the big news article. But yeah, it's sad. I used to love Naughty Dog, even before the whole Last of Us thing. I loved Crash Bandicoot. I loved Jack and Daxter. Big fan of Uncharted. So, and then, it peaked with The Last of Us, and I was just like, holy shit, this is great. I love this team. And now here we are. It's unfortunate. All right. Now we're going to talk about murdering children.
Whoa!
The new Sims competitor Inzoi has raised an interesting ethical question following some controversy. Do any games come out these days without controversy? Inzoi allows you to create custom characters and guide them through simulated life. You pick goals for them, manage conversations, and generally watch them experience their day-to-day life. This can result in romances, verbal and physical fights, or even death from accidents like drowning, fire, or being hit by a car. Well, turns out the game also has children in it, and they can meet a grim fate as well. It's been discovered that you can drive your character's car into NPCs, killing them instantly and forcing them into a ragdoll tumble. Initially, nobody seemed to care all that much, but somebody tested this out on the kid NPCs, and it works on them too. Now, there's a bit of an uproar towards the game, some criticizing the game for allowing this in the first place, and others saying the rating should be changed from T to M. Developer Crafton has since fixed this from happening to children and issued an apology, claiming it was the result of a bug. However, this raises the question, why is it okay to run over people in a video game as long as they're not children? It's kind of a weird line to draw. It's not okay to kill people in real life, but that's okay in games. But when a kid is killed in a game, people lose their minds. This is why developers tend to remove children from the environment entirely. I understand the innocence and vulnerability of children and everything, but again, it's just a video game. Why is one okay to kill over the other? It's an interesting question. Where do you stand, and why?
Look, I'm just waiting for a game where I can kill a toddler. Just give me that.
Oh, wow.
Mm-mm.
Toddler murder simulator. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they patched it. Do they make the kids like dive out of the way, or how does
They
that work?
probably just turn them into walls. If you try to hit a kid, you'll just probably stop.
It's like, nope, not doing this today.
Yeah, like after I put that together, I watched a couple of videos, and it looks like you might not be able to run over anybody anymore. Because like I saw somebody playing, and they were driving around, and like they would hit like an adult person, and it would be like they hit a wall. They would just stop.
Isn't that like
Oh.
half of GTA?
I think they overcorrected or something. I don't know. But yeah, so like, what do you guys think? Like, it is kind of a weird thing. Like, I understand we want to protect children and everything like that. But again, it's a game. It's a simulation. Killing people in general is not like, it kind of makes a statement if we're saying like it's okay to kill anybody in a video game, but just not children. Like that could very easily, especially on like younger people, kind of set a tone of like, oh well, as long as I don't kill a kid, murder's fine. Like it's kind of a weird thing.
This is an ethical dilemma I've never faced.
I think
Okay.
it makes sense if people have such a huge issue with killing the kids, and they're like, okay, well, you know what? You can't run over anybody now.
Yeah.
Like if they die of accidents, fine, but you can't purposely go out and run people over.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem like that kind of
Like,
game.
yeah, because we
anyway.
don't want to change the rating. So, like,
I actually thought the game looked like The Sims. I thought it was just The Sims, just without all the bloody weird
Plum
green
bobs or
things.
whatever.
Yeah, that Shayla made, a while ago.
That was me!
Oh yeah, Carmen. Yeah, you did it.
Okay. I think I still have
I'm
it
sorry, I'm
somewhere.
confusing games with clothes still. All right.
All straight people look the same to him.
Exactly. You just want to run over every straight person. But yeah.
You're squealing over there, Shayla. What's going
There's
on?
an ocean
wanna get run
between
over?
us.
I,
There's an ocean.
I don't.
Her dark face.
I don't want them. I don't want to kill little kids. It's not very nice.
But
not very
it's
nice to kill adults.
adults, though. Like that's the thing.
I'm agreeing with Sean here.
It's complicated. Like I
Okay.
understand like all the different perspectives, but at the same time, it's like technically, like if you really want to be moral about everything, like you shouldn't be able to kill anybody. And if you can't
Yeah.
kill anybody, then that kind of ruins it. Like it's a simulation. People can die in real life. This is a simulation, literally focusing on all the like minuscule details of life: going to work, eating, aging, having kids, dying, relationships, fights, fire, like all these things are simulating real life. So you should be able to get hit by a car. There should be people that are crazy serial killers out there that can run people over. It's all part of the simulation. This is real life. So
Just
like
add
if
one
you're
thing.
taking it to the extreme and you're just like going to say, okay, well, there's going to be no death or murder or whatever, like that kind of waters down the experience to me. And of
This
course,
is
just like
Wendy's.
anything can be manipulated. People are going to take advantage of anything and everything. And you know what is happening? Why is everybody pointing?
I'm pointing to Alec,
Oh
who
yes, yeah. Alec
has
is the
one.
guy. He's the one that's going to do all the fucked up crazy shit. But and that's just kind of
Going. I've already done it.
and that's a result of freedom. That's kind of a sacrifice that you pay, because like if you give people freedom, people are going to take advantage of it. And people have different morals and values, and some have none. And those people are going to do things that you're not going to be okay with, but that's kind of how that works. But if you are afraid of those things, then you're going to censor things, and like in the name of protecting certain things, you're going to destroy other things. So it just
Yeah, but this game isn't GTA. It's more akin to Animal Crossing than GTA, so we don't need.
Crossing.
well, let's look at it this way. Like, I mean, another thing I bet that game doesn't have is I bet the kids can't get sick and die.
I
Like
hope not.
that's yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, you hope not, but like it's a simulation of life, right? Like
Dysentery.
if you're really having a simulated life, that would be kind of part of it. Would be like, okay, well, people can get sick, all people, including kids, and that I feel like that would be kind of an interesting and kind of educational thing, especially for younger people that are playing it. They're raising their family, they're learning about life and getting a job, and they have this family, and it's like, oh shit, people can get sick. Oh, my friend down the street in the game got sick and died. And then your kid gets sick, and it's like, oh shit, oh my god, is my kid gonna? You know what I mean? Like, there's actually value that can be attained from that. And talking
Unpopular
about a
opinion.
full-blown life simulator, I feel like that's a healthy thing to have,
Just
personally.
pop a warning on it. I'm the only person here who likes warnings, who likes disclosures and everything, because then you could just slap that
I
bad
thought you
boy
just
on and
decided that out of the blue. But you're
Yeah,
the
like
only person here who
survival
likes.
horror fan right there. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like if it's a life simulator and you can't simulate life, then what's the point? It's like having Grand Theft Auto, but you can't steal a car. Like what?
Okay, let's all go back to fucking the Sons of the Forest and play the game without killing any animals, without taking down any tree, because that's a living thing as well, technically, and see how far we get. Wouldn't that be fun? just to walk around. Oh no, you're not allowed to walk because if you walk on a bit of grass, you're
You're killing the
hurting
grass.
Exactly.
Don't kill the
It's
grass.
springy.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
But
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I understand like the approach of, you know, if it's a game for all ages, it should be labeled that the content does what it contains. Like it's not just because there's stuff in The Sims that you can and can't do, and then people are like, "Oh, it's just like The Sims," but it has a little bit more. Like you can drive the car and you can run over people. You can't do that in The Sims. So people who are used to playing The Sims can be like, "Oh, I could do this," and it falls towards the kind of things of like, I could do this in real life and no consequences.
Okay, but you
No,
can
I
kill
mean,
kids in The Sims, but there is no warning label on The Sims.
can you? But
You can't run them
anyway,
over with a
hence
car,
the
and you can't
ratings.
set them on
You can kill
fire.
them.
Well, you set them on
Warnings,
fire.
ratings, move on. It's that's what makes the ratings useful and nice. You just slap it on there. People know what they're getting into. The end.
I just think it's, if anything, it made me giggle because it's like, of course, nobody thought that people were just gonna go start fucking running people over, and like, of course, leave it to people
If
within
there's
like
a
a month
car,
of the game being out. They're causing mayhem and killing poor innocent children, and they're like, oh shit, what the hell? We're just trying to make a cozy life sim game,
if
and you guys
there's
are
a car,
murdering everyone.
I'm gonna drive it across every surface, or try to, including.
Vehicular manslaughter in the first month of the cozy game being released.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a violent person, and I would totally try that just to see what happens.
Part of my concern with it too is like it it becomes like a countermeasure kind of thing. Like you said, Shayla, like people don't consider these things, and then it's just kind of discovered, and then like countermeasures are taken. You know, it's like we freak out, and then it's like, well, from this point forward, that's going to be in people's minds. So when they make the next thing, they're going to consider that. So it's like, okay, well, when I make this game, you're not going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. It's just like, you know, you take the
You
Resident
monsters.
Evil, you take Resident Evil 4, you know, like they didn't think you were going to shoot the merchant, you know, they didn't think people were going to look up Ashley's skirt and shit like that, right? And people did that. They explore with the game and they fuck around, they do silly things, they find things out, and it's fun. And then like once that becomes public knowledge and people are aware of these things, then there's this course correction where people go in. It's like, okay, well, we're going to take out that. You can't look at, you know, Ashley no longer has a skirt. You can't aim or shoot at any of the NPCs. You know, they start removing elements of the game that people were fucking around with and having fun with. And like that will compound, you know, it's like, okay, well, now we've censored this. What is the next thing that we're going to discover that's going to offend somebody, that when we do the next Resident Evil 4 remake or whatever the fuck it is, what are we going to take out of that? You know what I mean? It's like what, where are we going with it? Like what's down the road look like? It's kind of my concern. But you're 100% right in terms of the rating. You know, like, yeah, you know, things need to be rated appropriately. And if you're there's child murder or whatever, you know, like you should probably put that on your ratings, your ratings card thing, which is fine.
I'm all for it. I mean, the thing I already said, the ratings, because I will
Yeah,
take car and go like straight into like the river, straight into like the crowd, straight into every
I'll run
possible
over
place.
everybody. I don't care. No discrimination. They all they can all go to get the fuck out of the way
I'm
of my car.
testing the mechanics, and if they did not realize this, BT Dubs, if they last comment, if they did not realize these things, then they did not have adequate testing or foresight.
Testing is
Okay,
almost non-existent these days. Like we
Yeah.
used to have a QA teams for all of these games, and there would be designated video game testers where they would hire on, you know, 10 people or whatever and pay them to do nothing but play the fuck out of the game to death and discover all the bugs and shit. We don't do that anymore.
used to
That's
be the
why
dream
things are
job.
so That's what, yeah, and it doesn't exist anymore. And that's a big part of why these games are coming out so fucked up and broken, is because these developers, publishers, whatever, they don't want to invest the money to pay for testers to figure this stuff out and discover these bugs. They'll just put it out to the public and they'll figure it out for them and then they'll fix it later. And that's just not great.
I think also, unfortunately, fandom is such that they know that people would chomp at the bit to play it and give all their feedback for free, or perhaps pay them in order to have the privilege of playing an early release. So
Early access is proof of that. People pay full price for a game to come out before it's ready to come out and they play it happily. Like, that's just kind of normal, modern day video game design now. Like, people feel privileged to be able to play a broken game in early access. It's kind of silly. Oh wow, survival horror fan with another donation. Thank you so much. Speaking of murder, it's time for Ashley to die. It's that time.
I will fucking stab you. Watch this. Shut up.
And a villager too. It's a 2-for-1. Double murder. And no children were hurt. So everybody wins. Well, I mean, I guess Ashley is on the line.
Wow.
Yeah.
isn't she like 19? Or
I thought she was like 17 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Though in the remake, she looks like she's
Anyways.
like 23. But anywho,
Technically, we're all children.
Yeah, that is a good point. We are all children. God damn it, go away.
Yay.
These damn bubble things. All right, anything else before we move on to how terrible Call of Duty is?
Sure.
I like Call of
Sure
Duty.
is not an appropriate response to the question that I asked, but we'll go ahead and move on. Call of Duty used to suck. Now it really sucks. Enter Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the crowning achievement of modern day garbage. First off, it can't be ignored that Call of Duty is trying its hardest to become
Fortnite 2.0.
only instead of being free to play, you'll have to shell out $70 US to ride the Call of Duty money train. Talk about failing out the gate. Call of Duty has become a hotbed of pandering with flashy themes and skins, crossovers and celebrity appearances, all of which cost extra. Plus it has these microtransactions. Always love that in my $70 games. And if that wasn't enough, it's got battle passes too. And of course, there's always plenty of overpriced DLC at your fingertips with $20 single skin packs. Speaking of which, the latest crossover skin packs are particularly offensive to players, causing some to tell Activision to just make the game free to play already. The latest skins are for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, offering all 4 turtles, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael, all selling for $20 a piece. Yeah, that's $80 for the set. On top of that, there is of course a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles themed Battle Pass for another $10, bringing the whole package to over $100 after taxes. Now that you've thrown down a few $100s on Black Ops 6, you better play it now while you can, because whether or not you bought the physical disc of Black Ops 6 or a digital copy, this is an online-only service-based game that requires constant internet connection to play. This is the case for all modes including multiplayer, single-player campaign, and zombies. And this of course includes the physical disc version as well. Fun fact, the Black Ops 6 disc only contains Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 version 1 with only 100 megabytes of data on it. That's right, Activision is selling you an unplayable Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 disc with a Black Ops 6 label on it for $70. Downloading a 56GB patch upgrades the game to Black Ops 6, and another roughly 38GB download makes the campaign playable. And don't forget, ultimately the servers will go down and the whole thing will be unplayable anyway. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is impressively modern day.
Well, it's
Listen.
good to see they're recycling their old discs.
Sean, if you wanted footage of Nicki Minaj, you could have just asked me to
You
play
have
it.
it? Let's see. Remove Shayla from the call.
Nicki Minaj.
You
Nicki
paid
Minaj.
$20 for that shit. What is
Well,
wrong with you?
first of all, it was a trade because one of my mechanics friends came over and he had a Assassin's Creed tattoo, so I gave him some Assassin's Creed merch that I had, and so when he got home, he sent me the money to get her because I really wanted her. But I did also pay for Lilith, and it's ridiculous.
It's
And
just
she doesn't fit in there at all.
it's
She's like
so
barefoot even.
it's so absurd to think like you buy 3 characters and you just bought the game again. Like that is insane. And again, like it's all temporary. Like literally when this game goes down,
Oh,
all those skins you bought, the
they're
$70 that
gone.
you paid for the game,
Yeah.
gone.
How much have you played that game, Shayla?
Enough. Why?
Nah, I hope you get your money's worth out of it.
Yeah, you better play it while you can. Get those hours in.
I
Let's go to
mean,
the
I haven't.
beach. Let's on your way.
I mean, I had fun with it. Well, I had friends that were playing it, so I had fun with it while I did. But and I even played the zombie stuff and kind of enjoyed it. But it just like it is kind of repetitive, so I played in spurts, I suppose.
I think the worst offense of this to me is, since I am such a big zombies fan, is like I think about like all the hours that I put into like working on 100%ing the zombies modes and getting the Easter eggs done and all that. And most of the time to make that happen, there's large periods of time where I don't play it. It's like it comes out, I play the shit out of it, I take a break. Come back in like a couple of years, I go back, I play the shit out of it, I take a break. And eventually I get there and it's fun and it's always there for me to go back to because I bought the goddamn thing. But like now when you look at Black Ops 6 that has a zombie mode, I have a fucking timetable to worry about. Like, do I want to get my money's worth out of this? Do I want to put in the time and do the Easter egg? Because if so, I have to do it while the servers are still up. And if you multiply that across like multiple games, you get 10 games that kind of function that way, and you've got all this pressure of like, I have these 10 games that I'm like fucking $600 invested in, and I don't have much time to really play any of them. You know what I mean? That just kind of creates a culture of, well, the logical thing to do would be buy one of those, and that damages the market. Like you don't want to make it less appealing to buy more games. That's bad.
My biggest complaint was a small one, and that was I thought it was so stupid because I started playing it and I was like, for the first 5 minutes, I was like, cool, nostalgia. They're using the same zombie voices. And then I'm like, 10 minutes in, I'm like, y'all could have recorded some new voices. Come on now. Just fucking drop the same voice files. Like, wow.
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 Any thoughts on Call of Duty and its modernness?
Just wow.
I mean, I think the crazy characters are kind of. I buy into it, but I also find it's a little weird. It's a little jarring when like there's serious army dudes, and then I got you, boo.
A lot of people are really annoyed about that. Like these Call of
Yeah,
Duty people, like a lot of
I
them
can
are like
see it. I can
bro
see why that's
dudes,
annoying.
military head guy. They
Yep.
they don't want this fucking pink haired Nicki
Ninja
Minaj
Turtle.
shit,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
cat headed avatar thing running
Right.
around like
I
that. That
bought that one
destroys the
too.
immersion. Oh my! Of course you did. Um,
It's
but and like I don't blame them. I'd be irritated too. Like if you want that kind of dumb shit, go play Fortnite. That game exists. It doesn't.
yeah,
Call of Duty doesn't need to be that. Like like there's so many franchises that
yeah.
are just like cannibalizing each other. It's like, oh, Fortnite's popular, let's be like Fortnite, and then everything becomes Fortnite. And like, oh, it's like the open world thing, right? Oh, open world games are cool and people seem to like those, so now everything's going to be that. Stop it.
Yeah, I think that what's most unfortunate about it is like the first couple times it happened, which is like Nikki was one of the first ones that really didn't fit. I thought it was funny and I liked it because she was like really one of the only ones that stuck out like a sore thumb. But ever since her, they've been doing it more and more to the point where it's like, okay, now it is starting to get like Fortnite, where before it was, to me, I kind of liked it just because because it was such a like rare thing. It used to be like all army men, and then I'm like, hey, Boo.
She was the test.
It'd be
Like,
better if they just put like one troll character in there. Like just
that's what I'm
all they
saying.
put, like the only goofy character in that game is Nicki Minaj. And that's
Yeah.
the only one. So like if you want
Well,
to
when
just
I
be a
got it,
troll or whatever, like there you
and
go.
and that was the thing when I got her, she was like the only like gag character. Like all the other characters that were like Bible at that time were like a little gimmicky, but they were still within like the realm of like army dude realism kind of stuff. But yeah, it's
Either way,
gone
$20
quite off the
is
rails.
pretty insane.
Wouldn't even pay $20 for a fucking Nicki Minaj CD.
I mean,
I
shit,
wouldn't
I
pay any
remember
money
like
for a Nicki Minaj CD.
back in the day with like 360 and PS3, like I would agonize over like spending $12 for like a story driven DLC with new environments, characters, weapons, items. And now you're telling me a fucking character model is $20? Fuck off.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is why it's not good, but I understand why it works. Because you also have to acknowledge that we have people out here. A pull in a gotcha game costs generally between $30 to $40. You have people willing to pay $30 to $40 for a chance to get a character. So to that mindset, a $20 guaranteed I get the character I want purchased suddenly doesn't sound like so ridiculous when you look at it from that angle. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying we have to acknowledge that there's a huge multi-million dollar industry built on people that spend $30 for a pull that so they might get the character they want.
That is so unhealthy though. Like that's
Yeah.
addiction. That's
Yep.
not good. So
100%.
like to feed into that is probably not the thing to do, maybe.
No. I'm just saying that like it is actually technically better than that because at least when you're paying $20 you get the thing you want.
It's a small consolation, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
If you want to
I'm
say.
not that's why I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I'm not surprised either. I'm just disappointed. That's all. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Well,
Yeah.
I'm mad too. Anything else before we talk about good old Fable being delayed?
No. Sure.
Sure. The new Fable has been delayed. The Fable reboot hopes to restore the franchise back to its former glory, but it's already seen a few obstacles. The original trilogy was a bit of a mixed bag, declining in quality as the series went on, culminating in a disappointing third game that resulted in the beginning of the end for the franchise. Fable creator Peter Molyneux would then leave the studio shortly after and cut ties with Microsoft. Now, the franchise is in the hands of Playground Games, developer of the Forza Horizon driving games. The revival of the franchise was revealed in June 2024 with a mixed reaction dividing the audience, primarily due to some character design choices. Now Playground Games is facing another setback with a big delay knocking the game out of 2025 to sometime in 2026. The reason for the delay wasn't mentioned. Xbox Game Studio head Craig Duncan simply said that Fable will be worth the wait. In addition to the announced delay, a short pre-alpha gameplay video was shared that showed some interesting gameplay and some true Fable staples like good old-fashioned chicken kicking. The graphics, animation, and overall world look pretty promising, but the game has a lot to prove and it hasn't exactly been smooth sailing.
See, they need to take away the chicken kicking because it's offensive.
Yeah, you're gonna offend the chicken lovers.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if you can
Chicken-
kick a
chicken
chicken,
looking good, so.
if you can kick a chicken, why can't you kick a kid?
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it. It looks good.
I'm hopeful. I want it to be good. I like Fable, and it looks like it could be good. It could go either way, and just the delay has me kind of concerned. But yeah, like a lot of the footage that was in that video was from the new pre-alpha build, and it looks great. Like visually, the gameplay that they showed there looks pretty solid. yeah, like I really like the monster design. That the werewolf there looked really really cool.
It looked
Yeah.
like a gnoll.
Oh yeah, maybe it was that. Yeah, it
I
could
don't
be.
know. It could have been a werewolf, but
I don't know. I think the only reason why it's delayed is so Xbox can decide what it is. If it's a console
It's gonna
or
be a long delay.
if it's a passport or a fucking
maybe it's a shirt.
spoon.
Yeah, it's a pair of pants.
Yeah.
I um I really enjoyed Fable 3, so hearing it like that it's not like it wasn't well received or whatever, like I don't know, like the first one was really really good. It came with my original Xbox and I played the shit out of it. I missed the other ones, but then Fable 3, like when I first played it, I really liked it too. So yeah, the graphics weren't like there was a little decline and stuff, but I like the idea of like having the dog and like you could choose like you're either the prince or the princess. Um, I think there were the prince and
I
princesses,
think so.
or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, and then like you could either be like a good king or queen or like a bad, like you could, and you have like those dilemma choices of like you can honor your promise to this person but then fuck over that person, or it's like you can't always win or lose, right? So there's like I really like that aspect. um so just watching, like I don't know, I haven't seen the problems that other people are complaining about. Like they're like, oh, the character design is just so stupid. I'm like, she looks like a normal person. She doesn't look all like smooth skin and like no freckles, no like super pretty hair and stuff. She looks like a normal ass person who's just picking up a weapon and going out and adventuring. And I'm like, that's down to earth. Like,
I think the bigger part of that conversation is the fact that like the actress actually like in real life looks more attractive than she does in the game, and people are like, what the fuck, because like the translation like, and this is happening a lot in video games in general, like the translation from like actor to CG model can be done damn near one to one, and for some reason it's not happening for females, and it's kind of weird because like why is that happening? There's got to be a motivation there, because they typically when they do a guy, whether he's attractive or not attractive, whatever it is, the translation is perfect. And then they start doing women, and it's like a lot of times they look less attractive, and like people are just trying to figure out what is that. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Like it's like
We
I
cannot
think
be
she looks
captured.
fine. Like there's screenshots out there that are very unflattering, but
they doing.
especially with like the more realistic video game characters are going to look, the more detail is going to be in their animations. And so like when they're emoting just like real people, if you pause like the podcast or whatever when somebody's talking, odds are you're going to get a really ugly stupid face, right? Because that's how humans work, that your face is animating and it looks stupid. So when you pause on when you pause on that, you're probably going to get a silly face. So like that's just part of having more
Shit.
graphical fidelity, and
Do you like
people
that?
are manipulating that, and using that as like a device to be like, oh, she's uglier than she actually is, and that's not valid. It's like I said, I think it's more of the conversation of like, what is this weird thing of just not translating the actresses genuinely, but we're doing the actors like faithfully. It's just kind of a weird thing that's going on in the industry.
Maybe
um,
maybe they had like an image of the character just looking more modern or more like maybe they have, we don't know what the game's gonna have. Maybe the game like the character is bullied or something, like, oh, you're fucking ugly, or like something stupid, like maybe
maybe.
we don't know, right? So
Maybe
I'm
the kid
very surprised
dies.
it's not the exact opposite, where like they're over accentuating or beautifying the female characters over like a faithful recreation of the males, but then like an overly like beautified, overly filtered version of the women.
Maybe they're just bad at them. I know me and several other girl artists, we struggle with drawing guys a lot more than like drawing girls or women.
Right.
So oh, maybe these guys are just struggling
Well,
to.
that's the thing. Like it's not manually it's not manually done anymore. It's all machine scanned. So like if there's an alteration to the model, it's done intentionally by a person. So it
Weird.
doesn't make any sense, and there is a lot of like conversation about like shying away from beauty and stuff like that, and they're like doing plus size models and things like that, and in combination with that, it's like some people in places are trying, it seems like they're trying to kind of balance or like skew things to kind of push that idea of like less attractive or whatever it is, at the cost of like avoiding beauty or criticizing beauty. Like that's kind of the conversation that I've seen going on, and I do see it periodically from time to time. It's just, and if that's the case, if it's being manipulated for some weird reason, some individuals whatever perspective, that's not great. If you're just trying to create like something different, and like I want to know the reason is what it boils down to. Like, why is this happening? Because there can be a legitimate reason for it happening. There can also be a fucked up
It,
reason for it happening.
it could.
So I just want to know what it
It
is.
could also. I mean, maybe it's just like I don't know. For all we know, it could be something the actress asked for but didn't explicitly
Maybe.
say. Because, like, for example, like I know, there was an actress who had their likeness put in a video game, and then people were modding it to do gross stuff, and she ended up really regretting it. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it's something along those lines where it's like I don't want it to actually look too much like me because in case people do weird stuff with it.
Yeah, maybe. But if modders are doing that, they're probably just going to make her look more attractive anyway. But I mean, it's true though. Like people do that. Like there's a lot of times where they'll go in and they'll like alter a face or whatever. That's some people. That's what they do. I don't know. But anyways, like that's not really what you should be focusing on, right? That's like one of the smaller details of the game. It's more about like what's the story, what's going on, like what does the gameplay look like? Is it like the old games? Are they doing something different? Like that should be the conversation, and that's what I'm looking at primarily. And like I said, what I've seen looks really promising. It looks interesting. I've always loved Fable, like you were saying, Jazz. I enjoyed 3. I enjoyed 1, 2, and 3. Personally, I can see the decline in quality overall in terms of like everything, like depth, mechanics, stuff like that. But it wasn't enough to like make me dislike 2 or 3. Like I think they were all good games. I could just kind of see like maybe the budget was shrinking a little bit, or like the time that they had to work on the sequels was maybe less. I think Peter Molyneux, who created the series and was more involved with the first game, I think he became less and less involved. So I feel like that probably affected it as well. And then really it was kind of post Fable 3 where it really started to fall apart, where they started to do these little kind of like
Lost
$5. Yeah, they started doing re-releases. They started doing like $5 indie games. They were experimenting with like open world, like PvP kind of stuff. They did Fable the Journey, which was a Connect game. So they started to like deteriorate the brand. They started to water it down over time, and I think people just lost interest in it. But I mean, from what I can tell, like this iteration looks more promising than anything in the series before it. I think it could be the best one potentially. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what they do with it.
Let's make a game called The Ugly Stick Attack of the Devs. And you play a dev running around with a stick and you smack people and make them permanently changed forever.
Oh no.
Um,
Oh no.
I was just trying to think of like a video game character that they scanned in like the actual like actors, and the character like looks like them but not really because they altered it. And I completely forgot like Last of Us is one of them, where Ashley Johnson is the actual face model for Ellie, but you look at Ellie and you're like, she doesn't really look like they've changed it
Mhm.
because I guess they had like they had to make changes. They had to
Down.
make changes in the original game because so many people were like, "No, it's Elliot Page,"
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
and
remember that.
they were like, Naughty Dog was like, "No, it's not."
No, it's not.
So they had to like make changes because I guess Elliot Page was like, "Hey,
Yeah, that's not me. Yeah.
stop."
Yeah,
Right.
and honestly, like that's how things were back then, where it's like they would scan a model, but most of it was still done manually by like hand. They would go in and take kind of like the foundation and create that into something different. So like they used her as a base, but they created their own unique character, and they probably did take inspiration from her or from them, and that's probably why there was that similarity there. You
Well,
know,
they stated that no. That's
I
what
mean,
people were. That's
it
what
could.
the rumors were. But Naughty Dog was like, "No."
I bet you it could have
Can
been
you
like subconscious or something like that. You know, like
say,
when
Yeah.
you know?
you're creating something, you're drawing from like
Things you like.
yeah, things you like and thing like images in your mind that you know you're going to be drawing from likenesses that you're thinking about when you're creating something. So it could have been a completely innocent
Subconscious.
thing, yeah, where they didn't even realize they did it, but they did. Um,
They might have had a page as a sort of template in their mind, like a page
That's what I said.
esque.
That's what Sean just said. But what I mean by that is like just that in mind of like how Ellie doesn't like you can see Ellie in when you look at Ashley Johnson or like the other way around. Like if you look really like carefully,
mhm.
you can actually see the features. But then like it's not side by side. You're like especially in Last of Us 2. And so they did have like an idea for the character and they did change it to look like what they had previously like kind of drawn down. And so I'm thinking for Fable that might be the same thing. And the fact that they're putting
Maybe.
more time in it, hopefully that's they're working like, hey, you know, our sequels to the first game or the not our but they're the sequels to the first game were a little bit like not received as well as the first game. So let's make this one a really good comeback and let's give it more time. I'm hoping that's what the delays are for. And that
I
they're
hope
not
so.
going to change everything and like the character's going to suddenly look a lot like a fucking goddess. Like,
Well, another thing I'm curious about too is like generally, I mean, the first two games I think you had to be a dude if I remember correctly, and then the
yeah,
third
because you
one you
were
were able to
the
pick. So I wonder, I'm hoping that they keep the ability to pick in that game, so like it might even be irrelevant, you know, like if you don't like the way the girl looks, you can pick the dude or whatever, you know, like hopefully they have that option there.
yeah, where they would look. I mean, there are a lot of games that show you like the trailers and stuff with the like the main character and then you're like, oh, I'm going to be that character, but that's just the generic one, kind of like Phoenix Rising where they had just
Oh yeah,
like
that's
the main
right.
character, but then you start and you can change your hair color, your hairstyle, you can give your character a fucking green mustache. um
Yeah, Mass Effect was like that too. You know, they always
yeah,
have like the shepherd that everybody like, you know, like he has like a identity, I guess, technically, like a canon one, I guess, but you can
Oh
go in
shit!
there and create a custom character. So
yeah,
FemShep.
but I don't know if they gave this character a name or if they're just like you're the hero of.
I think you've always just been the hero. I don't think they've ever had a name.
Yeah,
Could change. Yeah. Let's hope it's good. It looks good.
I'm excited.
Me
Mhm.
too. Not excited that it's an Xbox game, but
Yeah,
though I mean everything's an Xbox,
if
so
it's just,
does
I
it
mean,
matter?
that just means PC.
Yeah, by the time it comes out, it'll either be PC or it might even be on PS5, depending on how things go. You never know. All right, now to get into the goddamn Nintendo bullshit. So this is going to be a beefy segment. So like if you guys have something that you want to say or comment on or talk about, just let me know and I can pause it or whatever. Outside of
Okay.
that, I'm just going to let it run. Nintendo had an hour-long Switch 2 Direct with a ton of information, painting a clear picture of what to expect with the Switch 2. Unfortunately, the picture was painted with dog shit. Now listen, before the Nintendo White Knighters come at me, let me explain. And it isn't all bad news, just mostly. I mean, a lot of it really. 'Cause wow. First, let's talk about the system itself, which launches on June 5th. The new system looks nice, with a sleeker design. It has a 7.9-inch screen, a 1.7-inch increase from the base model Switch. The screen is a step down from the OLED Switch, but has increased resolution at 1080p with 4K support docked. This brings the system into full HD, which is good, but these should have been the specs for the first Switch. So this is more about getting up to the standard than an upgrade. However, Switch 2 supports up to 120 frames per second and HDR, which is nice. The dock now has a built-in fan to keep things cool while docked. A mic has been added for chatting, finally ending the age-old problem of community chat on Nintendo consoles. The new integrated chat feature uses a built-in microphone and is said to clearly capture your voice up close and far away while reducing background noise and isolating voice to maintain clear communication, even if construction is happening in the background. Hey, would you shut the fuck up? This feature also allows everyone in chat to share screens, whether they're all playing the same game online or each are playing different games. Additionally, you can buy the Piranha Plant camera to do video chat. Some games will even implant your camera feed directly into the games in real time. This new feature, of course, won't be free, however. Get used to spending money on the Switch 2, cause you're gonna. You'll need to have Nintendo's online membership to use the app, which will cost you $3.99 a month or $20 a year. It's not a lot, but if chat's all you want, that is a lot. Plus, this plugs into Nintendo's goal of nickel and diming you at every possible chance. A second USB-C port was placed on the top of the system, and 3D audio has been added as well. The Joy-Cons have been upgraded to attach to the system magnetically via the SL and SR buttons. I'm sure that won't cause any problems. It has an added C button for chat functionality, and both controllers can be used as a mouse. Toggling into mouse mode allows the controllers to be dragged across flat surfaces, offering new ways to play games and navigate the system. The memory has been expanded from the base Switch's 32 gigabytes to 256
That's
gigabytes.
gonna break fast.
That's a huge increase, but again, this just puts it up to par with the likes of the Steam Deck's smallest offering and is still considerably lower than other consoles like the Xbox Series and PS5 with 1 terabyte each. A lot of these improvements are just getting the system up to current standards that are likely to increase over the next couple of years as we go into another generation of hardware. So what's all this going to cost you? The base console will be $449.99 US, with a Mario Kart bundle going for $499.99. That's a $150 increase from the previous system. Now, it could be worse. At least we're not seeing an increase the likes of Sony's PS5 Pro at $699.99. But this still isn't a great price point, especially when we're looking at a more iterative system, more of an upgrade than a full-blown system, that is bringing the console more in line with hardware released almost 5 years ago. It's worth noting that during this hour-long presentation, Nintendo neglected to give a price point for anything. The system, the accessories, the games, nothing. This was all made public after the fact. Also, Nintendo has yet to share the system specs. A lot of questionable behaviors. The Switch 2 would use a new type of memory card and game card. Previously, you had the option to use microSD, microSD-HC, or microSD-XC cards, none of which will be compatible. Now you'll have to upgrade to microSD Express, which is a faster format and almost 3 times the price. This is a similar situation with game cards. The new game cards will now be red to differentiate them from the previous cards, and will have faster read speeds, likely affecting the cost of physical games. More on that in a second. What's funny is, Switch 2 first-party games are small in size. Smaller games like Super Mario Party Jamboree are only 7.7 gigabytes.
So they didn't mention any costs?
Nope.
Oh, you're muted.
Nope.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, during the live stream, they did not. They didn't say anything. They didn't say what anything would cost, which is fucking shady as shit. Because that's like a really big part of the reveal. Like every time they reveal a console, every time I've ever seen a console revealed, they've said the price. This is the first time I've ever seen them not mention it. And not only that, they didn't mention the cost of the games, the console, the accessories, nothing. And the reason for that is because it's all fucking skyrocketing and they don't want to deal with that.
But how many times did they mention Japan?
I don't think they did a single time.
So no cost or no Japan. What the fuck did they even talk about?
What do you talk about for an hour if you're not talking about
the
Japan?
settings.
The settings.
Larger games like Mario Kart World.
This screen is making me upset.
What is?
Just like the old cursors and the fucking mouse thing. The magnets are gonna get so scratched and stop connecting.
Oh
so
yeah, those
fast.
are gonna break. I mean, like not only are magnets just a bad idea in general, but it's literally magnetized through two of the buttons. Like the buttons are the magnets.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's fucked.
Like as soon as you said it said magnets, I thought of Joyce. And then you put magnets. My magnets.
23.4
That's
gigabytes.
crazy. You know what this looks like? Looks like Nintendo couldn't justify a cost increase based on the storage size demand, so they went for speed instead. Interesting.
Gotta get that bag, though.
Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack will finally be offering GameCube games, including The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, Soul Calibur 2, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, and more. This is something fans have been asking for a while now, but there's a catch. It's only available for Switch 2 owners. A very obvious tactic to push more people towards buying a Switch 2. You have a large group of consumers currently paying for Online Plus expansion for $49.99 a year, waiting for the addition of GameCube games, and when Nintendo finally delivers, they make you buy a $450 system plus your $49.99 yearly subscription to have the privilege to play them. And play them, not even own them. To be honest, I thought Nintendo was above this sort of thing. Guess not. We already knew the Switch 2 was going to be backwards compatible, but you might not want to ditch your OG Switch just yet. It is true that the Switch 2 will play Switch games, but not all of them. Nintendo has acknowledged that 130 Switch games have, quote, startup issues. This is Nintendo being afraid to say they don't work on Switch 2. And another 41 games have compatibility issues. And these are just what's discovered so far. It's still very early. This list is likely to grow over time as we learn more. In addition to backwards compatible games, some Switch 1 games will receive a Switch 2 edition. What's that mean? Why, I'm glad you asked. Switch 2 edition games can range widely in what they offer. Some games like Pokemon Legends A through Z will only offer performance enhancements and increased resolution, while others like Super Mario Jamboree will offer much more, including camera support, mouse control support, microphone support, frame rate and resolution increase, online functions, and new mini-games. So a Switch 2 edition can mean almost nothing, or quite a bit. Now before you get excited, if for some reason you did that, apparently these Switch 2 edition games, essentially ports, maybe teetering on remasters, will be pretty pricey. More on that later. This generation, Nintendo is pushing for digital. Just recently, Nintendo announced they will be implementing a virtual game card system that allows you to essentially lend your digital games to people on your family plan for short periods of time. Kind of like what Xbox tried to do in 2013. And what was their goal? Digital, consistent, online connected gaming? And how did that go?
Right. So stick with 360, that's your message if you don't, like it?
Not good. That's what we call a red flag. Now with Switch 2 games, Nintendo is implementing a digital key system for some games. These game cards will have no data on them. Instead, when inserted into the system, it will trigger a download to install from the internet. They're just installation launchers in the form of a game card. So, you know how developers are bitching about the cost of game development? How the hell can you justify the cost of distributing thousands, probably millions, of empty game cards? Why would you do that, Nintendo? Oh, because you want to transition everyone into buying, playing, and relying on online to better control distribution, access, and price. Right. Don't be fooled. This is straight up manipulation, and it's going to cost them a pretty penny to do it, so you know they're dedicated to converting you to digital. Let's talk about accessories and game prices. The cost of the hardware isn't the only thing to increase for the Switch 2. Joy-Con 2s will sell individually, left or right, for $49.99, $100 for the pair, or you can buy the set at a discount for $89.99, a $10 increase. The Pro controller sells for $79.99, a $10 increase, and the new camera for $49.99. Memory cards go from $49.99 for a 120 gigabyte and $59.99 for a 256 gigabyte, a $32 increase. Now for the games. This is where shit gets pretty wild. Games have a wide range of prices apparently. Some cross-generation games, older games available on previous hardware, go for $59.99. Standard Switch.
So, just real quick, the controllers like $50. It it's expensive to think of like $60. So that I'm assuming that's US, which means like for us it would be like $70.
Yeah.
It's a lot for a controller, given that we
Mhm.
pay about that or like $80 for a fucking PS5 controller. It should have been a little cheaper, but at the same time, it's neat that you can buy them individually. Because like they're gonna break so fast, and I feel like Nintendo knows that, so they're selling them individually so that you don't have to buy like a whole set of two if you just break one.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
the IKEA treatment.
if they were priced
'Cause they will
accordingly,
break.
I would agree with you, but since they're $50 a pop, I feel like that's kind of fucked up. If they were like 40, I guess, like literally half of what it would cost if because you buy the
Yeah.
set for 90, so like you cut that in half, and if that was the value, I guess I could understand that because it is nice to have that option,
Yeah.
but they're charging you a premium to do it, which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, no, if they were cheaper, like I don't agree with the price. I'm just saying like it's a good idea to have them separately,
Hmm.
but it's like they're gouging it because Nintendo knows they're like, oh, let's put the magnets, and then they realized after they did it that they're like,
Mhm.
well, having Mario Party and all these kids playing with the mouse, like the magnets are gonna get scratched, and they probably tried that, and then it wouldn't attach, and they were like, oh shit, well, we better sell these separately. Yeah, but let's sell them like at regular price because people are gonna buy that, and we'll make more money that way. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
That's way
that's
on purpose.
yeah, they're like exactly think that. Oh, should we bring the price down? No,
Nah.
let's just discount the 2-pack.
Just think of it as $5 per button.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
that's kind of what I was thinking too, survival horror fan. You might as well buy the pair if they're already $50, spend $30 more to get the other one because that one's probably going to break as well.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But
That's
again,
true.
if you don't have the money, it is nice to have the option there. I agree with that. It's just like the problem is these controllers are so fucking expensive and they're so techy. Like they're gonna break down a lot. Like you've got the
Mhm.
mouse functionality, you've got the magnets. They've already had problems with the analog sticks and controller drift. Like these things are gonna be so prone to malfunctioning that you're gonna be fucking burning through these things like fucking bread. So yeah, and
I wish
they're
they
not cheap.
yeah, like I wish they'd stop trying to be so fancy with their fucking controllers, given that they're consoles for kids. Cause like my Super Nintendo controllers still work, and I was like 8 when we had that shit. That's almost 30 years ago, and
Mhm.
they're still working. My
Yeah.
64 controller didn't, like, it just crapped out because it didn't survive all the moves because of the thumbsticks are weak, but also like all the Mario parties and shit. But like, why does everything have to have so many fancy things? Like, what was so wrong with the slide and click? Why do you have to have like why can't you just have a mouse and have that option to make games? Like the whole point of the Switch is that you didn't have to have contact with anything. You could just do this. Now you have to have a surface to use it as a mouse. Like that's so stupid. Why?
Mhm.
Why?
When
Another
I
thing.
Mad.
You know what I'm more worried about?
Going bankrupt?
No.
Yeah.
The fact that microphones integrated into systems have a good track history. Like the PlayStation 5 Bluetooth earbuds have some of the worst fucking sound I've ever heard. And the volume or the speaker in the controller, the PS5 is also equally as bad. I feel like what we're gonna end up hearing when it says it has sound counseling, I don't fucking believe it. I feel like we're gonna be hearing the most atrocious sounds coming from echoing and reverbing, and then reverbing off of other people's, that you're gonna have that weird oh my god,
And you'll have those assholes blasting rap music in the
Yeah.
background.
Till 4 a.m. in the goddamn morning.
Is anyone concerned with the fact that you can't turn them, you can't turn, you might not have control over your microphone?
It has a mute button. They talked about that in the direct.
Yeah, nothing will have a built-in microphone that you can't turn off.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't imagine
Making sure.
magnets and the mouse sensors, those are gonna fuck with each other. They're just going to. There's no way that they're not. So yeah, this thing's gonna be a fucking mess.
Don't get your controller too close to. Can magnets still delete electronically stored data? Don't get your controller too close to your freaking card, right?
I didn't even think about that.
Throw your controller down onto a game, or onto a game. Dude, or your storage disk, and then it's gone.
You're literally you have
deleting people's credit cards.
You have not even that, but if you're using a physical game that's plugged into the center of the machine, that thing is surrounded by 4 magnets in the fucking controllers. Over time, that has to do something. That's crazy.
That's why there's a fan.
Just blows
the magnets the other way.
I'm talking about you're a kid, or even just a regular person who's not particularly meticulous about having your shit, and you have your controller a little too close to your cartridge. Just as simple as that, and then gone.
Wonder if they thought about that.
They
your
had
controllers, put the game in, the game doesn't work.
Yeah, it's broken out the gate.
What?
Yeah.
We didn't even test the system. Damn.
I have a family to feed.
Games are.
Yeah, I'll stick with a Switch one.
$69.99, increasing the base price for Nintendo. Previously, the only $70 Switch game was The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Premium Switch 2 games are $79.99. Mario Kart World is the first game at this price point, and according to reports in the UK, Switch 2 Edition original Switch titles will sell upwards of $84.99 US. Fucking yikes. In an attempt to counterbalance some of this price gouging, Nintendo will be offering a game share feature for certain games. This feature allows you to play with up to 3 other Switch systems locally or online with only 1 copy of the game. Right now, the only games that offer this feature are Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario Odyssey, Big Brain Academy, and Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Don't expect to see this feature used all that often, as Nintendo's going to want you and your friends to buy these $80 games. Let's be real. Now let's get into some of the games. Nintendo has made an interactive gamified tour for the Switch 2. Sounds like a neat little pack-in like Wii Sports kind of deal, right? Of course not. This is the greedy evil Nintendo arc, and they want your damn money. The Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, again something absurd to have to pay for, is a virtual expedition that walks you through the hardware and features. You control a miniature-sized character navigating through an enlarged version of the Switch 2's hardware. You can walk up to all the different buttons and components on the hardware and interact with them to learn more about them. You'll be able to experience tech demos and play mini games too. This will be a digital only game and is said to run about $6.50 US. That's $6.50 too much. Duskblood is From Software's stupid mistake. This is the developer's next Souls game with a bigger focus on multiplayer than in previous titles. It looks so much like Bloodborne that it seems like a troll. For context, From Software created the Soulsborne genre, which is very popular these days. They developed Demon Souls, which started it all, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, etc. Fans have been desperately waiting and hoping for a follow-up to Bloodborne, and that's never been more relevant than now, as we just passed the game's 10th anniversary on March 24th. month. So what does From Software do? They don't announce a Bloodborne sequel. Instead, they announce a similar game in a whole new universe. And given that Bloodborne was a PlayStation exclusive and that fan base exists mainly on that platform, what do? They locked it exclusively to a Nintendo console. It's almost like they're going out of their way to do the opposite of what their fan base wants. Does this not seem antagonizing? How can this not be on purpose? I mean, shit, they could have even gotten away with this game no problem if they announced Bloodborne 2 first. But no.
They take her the glove and they smack her the face.
Street Fighter 6 is coming to Switch 2 in the form of Street Fighter 6 Years 1 through 2. It's kind of a weird title, 1 through 2. Isn't that just 1 and 2? Also releasing on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Series S, and PC. This will be the first time the game is available on a Nintendo platform, and as the name says, this version includes the DLC for Years 1 and 2. This increases the base fighter roster from 18 to 26, includes character outfit colors 3 through 10, and has 20 stages, adding 5 more from the initial 15 at launch. And best of all, an internet connection is required to download a patch to access all the characters. This is the case across all platforms, but the Switch 2 version takes it to another level. The physical release will be a game key card, the new Switch 2 digital initiative. You will have to do a full game download of 50 gigabytes to play the game. So if you're buying physical, keep that in mind. The game will be available in time for the Switch 2 launch on June 5th for $59.99. Then you have this, a wheelchair Rocket League game? I can't deal with this right now. We'll cover that in another video. Donkey Kong Bonanza looks fantastic. The new Donkey Kong is a sort of revival for the series, having been dormant for over a decade ever since Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze in 2014. Plus, this is the first 3D Donkey Kong in 26 years, which is insane. Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a great name by the way, is being compared to Mario Odyssey in scope and design, offering a lot of similarities like the HUD, the obtaining of golden bananas instead of stars, and so on. It's very Mario Odyssey-esque, for better or worse. Donkey Kong Bonanza introduces a new destructible world system that allows the vast majority of the environment to be dug into, smashed, or overall destroyed to reveal bananas, collectibles, and secrets. The game looks promising, but it does appear to be adopting the open world virus. We have too many open world games. Stop! It may just offer some expansive maps, but the large environments are edging towards the open world scale, and that's a tiresome trope. Donkey Kong Bonanza will launch for Switch 2 on July 2nd for $69.99. The prices are going up. Mario Kart World was also announced. This is another title pushing the tired open world concept. It's nice to see Nintendo try something new within an existing IP and to cram tons of content in it, but when the industry is overcrowded with bloated open world games, the novelty is lost. That said, some of what's here is intriguing. If you don't want the Forza Horizon style open world experience, you can select individual tracks like previous games, but if you do decide to take on the open world, it does offer some Mario style adventure. You can find secret areas and shortcuts, coins, and collectibles, some of which can be used to unlock content. In Mario Kart World, you can race with up to 24 human players simultaneously, including a battle royale mode, because of course there is, which pits 24 players against each other in a circuit of races. The bottom 4 in each section will be eliminated until it's down to the last 4 to determine a final winner. Reports indicate that you can no longer customize your kart, instead you'll choose from preset kart options. You'll have a roster of 24 characters to choose from, consisting only of characters from the Mario series.
Why is there a cow?
This means no crossover characters Why from not? the likes of The Legend of Zelda, Animal
Trash
Crossing,
cow.
and Splatoon, like in the previous game. This drops the character count down by 16 when compared to the previous game's 42. It's said that there's other characters within the game that you can race against but are not playable, so more characters may be unlockable but will more likely be paid DLC and could include characters from other games. Some characters have alternate costumes you can select when picking your character, and other costumes with unique stat changes can be obtained through power-ups during races. So it sounds pretty interesting. There's ups and downs. The biggest problem here is the price point at $79.99. Bleh. So there you have it. A lot of pros and cons here, mostly cons,
Bleh.
but you can be the judge on which side the scale tips. Just tread lightly. Supporting this system and its games means supporting its practices and prices. If you buy in, you're telling the industry that these prices are acceptable, that these behaviors are okay, that digital is the way to go, and with enough support this will in fact affect the video game landscape in the future. Take-Two wants to increase games to $100, and paying $80 for Mario Kart is a stepping stone to that end. The more we let digital elements creep into physical products, reduces their functionality and overall the need to have them in the first place. Whatever you choose, whether you decide to pass on everything entirely, dip your toes in a little bit, or throw a shit ton of money at Nintendo, we'd love to hear what you think.
Boycott.
It's a lot. Yeah, so what are we thinking on the Switch 2?
So I'll stick with my Switch 1.
So I sold my Switch today because I.
Did you already know about all this?
Oh yeah, because I watched it direct when it happened.
Oh my god, Alec. How could you?
The biggest thing for me with the Switch 2 was like, oh, you can, when you play online, you don't have to go through Discord and set up a group call because now it's built in. It's like, ha, the thing I actually wanted from the actual Switch. So I was like, okay, great. As for the price of the game, so I was actually thinking, all right, perhaps I'll get a Switch 2 when it's a bit cheaper. But then I remembered it's Nintendo. Their games never seem to get cheaper.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why that is.
Because it's Nintendo.
They don't have to.
They can, yeah, they can get away with it.
Because you're gonna buy it anyway.
Though, yeah, that is fair. Like it used to be like back in the day, they would never go on sale, but nowadays, Switch games they actually do go on sale fairly often, which is kind of nice. They just never like fully drop in price.
Mm-hmm.
It's like even when I go to my local CEX or game shop, it's like you can go to the Wii U and the games are still like £40, and you just think, why?
It's Nintendo for you. It's crazy. And I mean, like the market makes that happen. Like if people are willing to pay for it, they're gonna do it.
I will probably get a Switch 2 eventually, but not in a rush to go get one.
But you said you sold your Switch?
Yeah.
So we're never going to play Mario Party again?
No, we will. Just not.
Two.
Well, now I have a reason to open mine, like I was, and now you don't have one. So now Alec's going to be the one. Yeah.
To be fair, literally, I sold it for two reasons. A, to have some money to keep me going between jobs. And the other reason is because it was literally sat behind the TV for 3 months. I didn't touch it. So I was just like, huh. Okay. So, as much as I did enjoy playing Mario Party, I just really wish, I really wish it had that game chat function. But now I know it has, I'm more invested in the Switch 2.
Yeah, but who are you going to chat with? Because I'm sure most of us aren't getting one.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for you guys to eventually get one.
No, I'm not.
I mean, the chat feature, I believe, can. Oh no, never mind. I was thinking you could use it for Switch 1 games, but you would still have to be playing on the Switch 2 to use it. So yeah, never mind. Yeah, I'm not getting one. I mean, like, if there was some kind of crazy ass deal, like I feel like if I could get one for like $200, I would do it, but that's never going to happen. Uh-oh.
Yeah, she's chopping.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not for me. The biggest thing for me, obviously, should be shocking to nobody, is the whole fucking what was it called? The
magnets.
The key, the digital key card, whatever system that they have for their physical games, where like you're literally buying an empty fucking cartridge. Wow, that is fucked. Like that's the scummiest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I'm really concerned about like how well this gets adopted, because if it does well enough, this is going to take over really fast, because the incentive for Nintendo to take advantage of that is really, really high, and that's going to be a really crucial tool for them to migrate from physical to digital, like, real quick. So I really hope that's rejected hard, and I'm fucking rejecting the hell out of it. So yeah.
I'm rejecting it so hard right now.
Oh, Nintendo.
Boycott.
Is that
I'm not.
pee-pee sauce?
I'm not really a Nintendo person, so
And me.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a lot of no.
I think this is awful. Like I was skeptical initially, but I had a little bit of hope that they were going to continue to at least be like the proponent of physical media, and not only did that not fucking happen, but they lost their goddamn minds on several different levels that I was not expecting to happen.
Magnets.
So magnets, pricing, fucking all of it is crazy. But yeah, there you go. Nintendo Switch 2.
go.
Get hype. Alrighty. Now we are finally done with the news. We did it. We made it through. There's a lot.
Woo!
It took a long time to put all that together, just so you know.
Good job.
Thank you. So now we're going to do the Machinima Showcase.
Machine.
And I fixed the volume so it's not super loud. Yay.
Machinima.
Machinima. Alrighty. Ski Paps again.
Why?
Why? You don't like those?
No, I mean, she just like, why did you just?
Oh. Yeah, so this week.
Hope it wasn't really loud.
This week's showcase is good old Ski Paps. I looked around, I looked all over YouTube to try and find like a new creator, but it's getting harder and harder to do because like there's not a lot of them, and I went like 20 pages deep just trying to find like something, and there's not a whole lot there, and there's so many Sims music videos that are labeled Machinima that it makes it really hard to find anything. I don't know why they do that. Those are music videos. They do not understand what Machinima is. Stop it.
Music video.
They're single-handedly killing Machinima because they're killing discoverability by adding all this shit in there. Stop it. But yeah. So I feel like you can't go wrong with Ski Paps. Their videos are really, really good. This week's video is called Leon Chicken Nuts. So you know it's a winner. There we go.
These are so nuts.
Next. What the?
Stupid.
I think I've been traumatized. Well
This is why
then.
you need to kick your chickens.
These are insane.
Like, how do you think of this crazy shit? Like, this is an unhealthy mind, but I love it.
I think it's healthy.
It's so good. Oh my god.
I mean, it's something that's never been done.
The butthole lips was a little bit much.
Yeah, it's really creepy. Alrighty. So this next one I have to upload. Or wait, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. I need to do something.
So, who wants to buy a Nintendo Switch 2?
Nobody.
Hey.
Nobody.
I was this close to. I had to be talked down from buying a what do you call it? Oh, what do you call it? The Steam. The Steam
Oh, the
Deck?
Steam Deck.
Deck. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, if you had a computer, maybe and disposable income, but
Right. I have neither of those things.
you need to buy yourself a PC first.
I will PC soon.
Yeah.
Right now, laptop is
PC.
adequate. Almost.
Piss.
Piss.
Piss. Piss.
Also, who fancies having an egg right now?
Yeah,
An egg.
What?
Excuse me, I go get the egg.
What about an egg roll?
Who wants an egg right now?
Oh
No.
Not for what? You've ruined eggs. I just afforded some eggs. Okay.
And Easter around the corner.
No.
No.
I just got myself 2 dozen eggs, and I was like, wow, I'm living the high life now.
Eggs are crazy expensive right now. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Stormy.
Almost there. Almost there.
Almost there.
Can only do 10 videos at a time. So I have to upload a couple things real quick.
Whoever's whistling, please stop whistling. Should we bother loading up the script, or there's no time?
Nah, it's just gonna be a couple.
Okay.
Like a minute, maybe at most.
For the record, I
Streams
was
only have one hole.
tundra-ing. I was.
Oh no, they have more than one hole.
Oh, no.
Whoa!
Alec!
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Look, there's a reason why they're finger looking good, alright?
No, Alec, no.
What?
Please
No, stop!
Mm,
I don't like this anymore.
Really not good.
What is going? I can't. Step away for a second.
To
And
eat
when-
some chicken?
Well, you're not supposed to do that. That's your penalty.
Go to bathroom.
what?
What about going to bed?
Bathroom.
Bathroom? Well, hold it.
How dare you?
How dare you,
Ignore that.
ignorant croutons.
All right, so I got it up. We're ready to go. So new segment. This is a segment focusing on survival horror called dark corners of gaming. Spooky. Ooh. In this segment, we'll talk survival horror, kind of anything really, just in general. We talk about niche horror titles, opinions on heavy hitters like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, anything kind of topical within that genre. This week, I picked the Residents of Evil's latest project. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they're doing a movie, I guess it is, called Resurrection, a Biohazard story. It's kind of a follow-up to the Keeper's Diary short film that they made, but this time, this is what makes it interesting, is it's going to have the entire original Resident Evil cast, except for Jill, unfortunately, because she doesn't want to be bothered. Apparently, she wants nothing to do with the fandom or anything, which is fine. It's understandable. But literally everybody else that was in the original Resident Evil game, in terms of like the live action actors, are going to be in this project, which is really cool. And I'm not entirely sure how they're doing it, if they're technically repraising the characters from the game, or if they're doing characters that are just similar to avoid copyright. But it looks really cool. So I brought that trailer. We're going to take a look at that, and we'll talk about it. But first, oh, that's loud. That's loud.
Hey guys, JJ here, and have you ever wanted a faithful adaptation of Resident Evil that pays tribute to the storylines and characters we know and love? From the same director of The Keeper's Diary comes the most ambitious Resident Evil fan project to date, Resurrection, a Biohazard story. So with that being said, let's get right into it.
Resurrection.
From the same director of The Keeper's Diary, a Biohazard story, comes the most ambitious Resident Evil fan project to date, Resurrection, a Biohazard story. Featuring the return of the original Resident Evil cast and iconic voices, this is what Resident Evil fans have been waiting for. Here's a quick synopsis. Written by Adi Adavain and directed by Andrew Salo, Resurrection, a Biohazard story, takes us to the small town of Rosa Infirma, Mexico, where a new biohazard crisis is unfolding. But this time, multiple forces, both new and old, stand at the ready. Past entanglements complicate the battlefield, and loyalties are tested in ways more dangerous than ever. As our heroes hunt for the origins of a mysterious new bioagent, fighting the undead and uncovering the town's shadowy past, old wounds are ripped open. But one nightmare looms above the rest, returning to its flesh and blood form, fully resurrected and more terrifying than ever. This time around, it's not just a short film. Resurrection will be a 4-part fan series with an estimated runtime around 1 hour, far longer than The Keeper's Diary. Also, the live-action cast from the original Resident Evil are returning, including Charlie Kravslovsky, Greg Smith, Eric Pirius, and Linda. The story takes place in the modern day, offering a look at where these characters are now, while some operate within a covert Black Ops unit.
She has no last name.
Until fate
She's like
brings
Prince.
them together for a mission that'll test them all. And it doesn't stop there. Legendary voices from the series are also back, including Pablo Kuntz, the original voice of Albert Wesker, and Joe White, the voice of Chris Redfield in the Resident Evil 1 remake. They're now returning as live-action actors themselves. Ward Sexton, the voice behind the iconic Resident Evil title call, is also returning. This project is already shaping up to be something special for Resident Evil fans. Resurrection will be filmed in southern Utah, with Baz working on storyboarding, Lewis and Mike returning from The Keeper's Diary to handle the CGI, Eric leading stunts and choreography, Dwayne returning for the music score, and Alberto and Saber Media handling the cinematography. Director Andrew Salo had this to say. After the overwhelming success of our crowdfunding campaign and the release of The Keeper's Diary, we wanted to throw our hat into the ring once more and create a fan series that leans into Resident Evil like never before. We want to capture the tension, the horror, and the action that fans love, while delivering an original story that expands on the legacy of these actors in a meaningful way. It should be noted that Resurrection is an unofficial, non-for-profit fan project and not affiliated with any corporate entertainment entities. Just like The Keeper's Diary, Resurrection is a Row production. With all that said, we can't make this project a reality without your help. A crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo will launch in the coming months, featuring exclusive perks, behind-the-scenes content, and limited edition merch. Now is the time to make Resurrection a reality and give Resident Evil fans what they deserve. A series for the fans, by the fans, that respects the franchise we all know and love, while adding thoughtfully to it. So please, leave a like on this video and share it with your friends to bring as much attention to this
There you go. Attention to the.
To the Ed Linda.
I know it's so weird. She probably doesn't want her name out there, so she doesn't get like harassed or something, or contacted, whatever. But yeah, it's. I like the idea of getting that old cast back together and doing something, even if it's just kind of themed, like Resident Evil isn't official technically.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool idea. And like if they do it in the same quality of the Keeper's Diary, then it definitely has potential to be something pretty cool because the production value, all things considered, for that were pretty high, especially like
Yeah.
the zombie makeup and stuff. It looked really good. Um, so yeah, it could be really cool. Any interest in that? What do you guys think?
Maybe look into it.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
I'd give it a watch.
Yeah.
I'll watch it, but I'll be more interested to see if it fucks up like the movies. So it'll just be like, ha! There you go, fans fuck it up as well.
I mean, technically that's already happened because like the last director said they all said that they were fans, like, oh, we love Resident Evil and we want to do it justice and blah 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 blah. Bullshit. That never happens. I feel like they say that just because like it gives them, buy-in. It's like, oh, it's a fellow fan. They're gonna do the thing that I love, justice. So they're more likely to invest and go see it. So
Credibility.
I don't think it's true. Typically. Or like they played it once when they were like fucking, 16 or something like that, and that makes them a fan or shit like that. Because I feel like if a true fan really was behind it, I mean, I guess this will kind of put that to the test because clearly these people are fans. So if they can pull it off, then that'll kind of answer that question.
And if they can't, then haha!
Then it'll just be another shitty Resident Evil thing.
Yep.
There's plenty of those.
Because I'm evil, I kind of want it to fuck up.
Wow, Alec. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Yeah, survival horror fan. They did find her, but she didn't want to be bothered. She didn't want to be involved in any of the stuff. She didn't want to be in the spotlight, so she just kind of asked to be left alone. So she won't be a part of it, which is going to be weird. Kind of having everybody except for Jill there. It's going to be a big blow.
Dead.
Will they have a different Jill?
Yeah, I mean, are they going to kill her off? I feel like they kind of have to do something because like having everybody there except for her, if they replace only her, it's definitely going to
Jill's
gonna
not here
feel
because
weird.
she fell through a window again, and this time she died.
Yeah. They buried her out back. It's fine.
Jill is in a grave.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Finally got a
hardly.
Jill sandwich.
Alrighty, Alec, it is game time.
Alright, man, it's game time.
Time for some attention seekers. Pay close attention to the following video and answer the questions after.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
The
All right.
fuck was that?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Pay attention. You heard the video or the audio.
You're zombie.
Banana.
What the fuck?
All right. So I have 7 questions.
Oh my god.
So, question 1. How many times does Chris get bitten?
I'm gonna guess 7.
3.
Yeah, 3 times.
4. I'm guessing.
So, Sean said 3. Jazz said 4.
I
Shadow,
said
what did you say?
3.
You said 3.
I said 7.
Carmen, 7. Any guesses in the chat? How many times did Chris get bitten?
She picked 7 because it's 7.
7.
Survivor Horror says 7. 7.
7.
7. All right. The answer is 6.
Oh wow!
I don't know why you went with who. You don't
Yeah,
get a
you
point.
didn't get the
I mean,
answer.
but, like, you get the, isn't it just the closest?
It's not the
without
closest.
going
You have to get the
Come
answer
on.
correct.
It's like jelly beans.
You got
Come
it
on.
wrong.
All right, question 2. What does Chris have as a defensive weapon?
Fuck. I didn't see that.
Knife.
I was looking at the inventory, but I didn't see the defensive weapon.
I was
saw
looking
the
at
key.
the big poop.
Yeah, me too.
I'll
I was
guess
trying to remember like what the color was and stuff.
a Nife.
You saying that because I said that?
But also because it's the most likely.
I'm gonna say grenade.
Well, then I'm gonna say a fucking battery, little battery.
Okay. Survivor has.
Actually, he got bitten. He doesn't have a defensive weapon.
Oh yeah.
He did get
But
bit
did
6
I-
times.
But did I edit anything to put it in?
Oh,
Well, if you edited something to put it in, it doesn't matter. He didn't actually have it, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he had a
Wow.
fart.
Loophole.
All right, so people saying knife, nothing, and also a
Grenade.
grenade. Okay.
A fart grenade.
The answer to question 2 is a rock or a boulder with a picture of Wesker on it.
What?
Wow.
He
We can
didn't
read-
have
Oh,
that.
oh, nothing.
We can we can rewatch it in a minute. How many? Question 3: How many shots were fired?
oh,
I don't know.
I wasn't counting that.
I think either 6 or 8, and I'm not just saying that. Like I
Also 7.
Yes, 7. Why not?
13.
I'm gonna
13.
stick with
Wait.
6.
I'm gonna say
14.
5 just to be different.
14.
6 final answer.
1.
Only one shot.
One opportunity. Mom spaghetti.
Don't miss
Yeah.
your chance to blow.
Yeah. Boom,
Survivor Horror fan,
headshot.
any guesses? How many shots?
14.
Do do do.
7.
do.
The answer is 8.
Fuck me.
No thanks. Okay, moving on. Question 4. True or false? Chris has 2 small keys.
False.
False. Yeah.
Up
One
his
of them is
ass.
his anus. He has a small pee-pee.
A
Sure,
small
false.
pee and a small kiki.
True or false? Chris has 2 small keys.
False.
False.
Sticking with false.
Mm-hmm.
A keenness.
Chat. You guessing true or false?
Yes.
False. The answer is false. Chris only has 1 small key. Question 5. What is the fourth word in the video?
Oh, fuck off.
Big poop.
Matter.
Oh, zombie lives matter. Is that what?
Yes. So I thought that joke was a bad taste, but okay.
Zombie lives matter or something like that.
That's
Matter.
3 words, people.
I'm glad someone's paying attention.
Yeah, so it would be big.
Big. Oh, because big poop. Okay, sure, I'll go with big.
Any
Yeah,
more
I'm not
guesses?
sure.
What is the fourth word in the video?
Lives.
Oh,
Wasn't there something in the first
matter.
one? That's. Oh my god, I can't. No, I'm gonna go with. I think Jazz is right. I think it's big.
It is right. The answer is big. Well done.
Zombie lives matter. It's matter.
No, all zombie. No, all zombie. All zombie.
Was that
lives.
That's not what
was
it
that the
says.
first four?
It didn't say all.
Oh,
So the
didn't say
words
all.
were zombies' lives matter. Big.
But there.
poop.
Then big poop.
Oh, I thought there was something before that.
I thought there was too. That's why I thought it was matter, but
All right. Question 6. Who is Chris dancing with?
Wesker.
Oh.
Albie.
Albert. They were getting freaky.
It's funnier because she sounds like she's in the background.
Do it again.
Hmm?
I said do it again.
Do what again?
Shayla B. Alberta.
The Albert. I mean, the...
There you go. You don't even have to. If
I
she ever
think
record
Sean-
Wesker's mom, you don't even have to like edit her voice.
Yeah.
She just has to record
Yeah.
it
I think
peaks.
Sean nearly sprayed whatever he was drinking.
Natural acoustics.
So question 6. Who is Chris dancing with? The answer is Wesker. So well done. And the final question. In the inventory screen, how many bullets does Chris have?
In total, or just in the clip?
The clip was 49.
31.
And I think he had 7 in the clip.
One in the chamber, bitch.
Motherfucker.
I want to wait for everybody else to answer so nobody
No fucking
copies my
idea.
answer.
I'll say 31 just to be different. But...
So 56 total with what's in the gun and the stack that he had.
Okay, so Sean, you said 56. Jazz.
I'm waiting for everybody else to answer
Okay,
before
Shayla.
saying my answer.
wow.
I don't want to be copied.
6.
Just 6 bullets.
Yeah, why not?
Right.
I
Carmen.
said 31.
You said 31.
39.
No.
Wait, let me
Okay.
change it to 39. Wait, no.
Okay.
Let's just see where it happens.
55.
55. Okay. The answer is 57.
What?
Now let's rewatch it. You can pause it and you're like, what?
55.
Oh, 8.
I
Fuck.
thought it was 6.
Thought it was 7. Well.
So I did the math right. I just remembered the number and the gun wrong.
Me too. Banana.
So
Well,
you guys got, I don't know, 2 questions right.
we killed it.
I do love / hate the fact that you put random ass distracting things that do not pertain to the questions.
Yep.
I do like. I love that in theory. I hate it for me. So love / hate.
You know, this is, I only made that video like a week ago when I was just fooling around playing Resident Evil, and it's just like, I don't know if you noticed when it's the last 2 shots that Chris fired, It's like, how did that kill the zombie? One missed, and then it clearly misses again, but he's dead.
Editing error?
Went right into his brain.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
But no one missed. No one was paying attention to the boulder. Wesker on it.
I saw that. I mean, the dude in the corner.
I watched it again and I still didn't see that. So.
But it
I didn't
wasn't in
either.
the question, so it was useless. It was one of those useless pieces of visual information meant to distract you. Bitch.
And there we go. Right. Does anyone else have a game quickly?
Nar.
It's all you.
All right, let's quickly do reverse remember.
The following game contains reversed clips of potentially horrible things previously said. It's reverse and remember time, so grow the fuck up.
All right, you guys know how this game is played.
I just want to quickly point out, or as a reminder, if you have like guesses, wait till the clip is done.
Yeah.
You might want to mute yourself while the kids.
Shayla and Carmen.
Wow. Shots fired.
Here's the first one. 3, 2, 1.
안녕하세요.
That sounds so bad.
Then
you hear like that.
It is a video game. It's not the machinima.
I have a feeling I know what it is, but like the girl's voice, I'm not 100% on.
I'm going to say Devil May Cry 5, but I think it's wrong.
Okay.
The only thing that came to mind was a movie.
Okay.
Need to hear it again.
All right.
안녕하세요.
I feel like the answer is going to annoy me.
It just sounds so unnecessarily liquidy.
It sounds familiar, but yeah, that's what I was thinking, but it doesn't sound like Claire.
One last time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
안녕하세요.
I'm pretty sure I've heard this, and it's pissing me off.
It doesn't sound like Steve.
No, I don't think so. Unless it was Dark
Right.
Side Chronicles, or not Dark Side.
See.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what
But
I
it
was
doesn't
wondering too, Sean.
It doesn't sound like Claire.
Right? That's why I was
Yeah.
like, is it Dark Side? But I can't remember what she
Because
sounds like
in
that one.
Dark
Same.
Side, Claire sounds higher pitched, and Steve is Sam Riegel. And
The chick,
Sam Riegel.
the chick sounds like she's speaking Russian when it's in reverse.
I'm thinking, like, could it be like, because it has like Resident Evil sounding music, but then you said Devil May Cry, which is Capcom, right? So it would be like really similar.
Yeah.
My brain thought, what if it's like Resident Evil 6 when Simmons is mutating?
Oh.
But then Alex been playing Resident Evil 1, but it doesn't
No,
sound
some
like
of these things are coming from other
Yeah.
YouTubers, so
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't necessarily have to play it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even have a clue.
Alright, let's just quickly skim through the comments. So Survival Horror Fan says Final Fantasy, Veronica Lee. Last guesses, guys.
I'm gonna say Resident Evil 6.
I
I'm
got
gonna stick
nothing.
with Devil May Cry 5, even though I'm pretty sure it's wrong.
And
It
Shayla?
sounds
Guessing.
epic, but that's all I got.
Shayla?
I don't even know. I don't even have like an idea.
Alright, prepare to kick yourselves, guys. Here's the reveal.
God.
Good God, William. What have you done?
Fuck off.
Crybaby Birkin.
It's Frank West. Real quick, got a 10 from Survival Horror
Yeah.
Fan. Thank you so much. Hippo character collapses to the ground as his chair breaks while the words wrecked appear above him. What does that mean?
There's little stickers, animated stickers playing in the actual YouTube chat.
Oh, I can't see it because of the.
You gotta look on YouTube. Yeah.
Here.
Oh, it's cute.
I'm like, what am I missing?
Here.
Oh, okay.
And then here's the one that I put earlier for his birthday. Where is it? Yeah, there's a little trumpet dude.
Oh, okay. I'll have to open up YouTube as well. Or wait, what? You
Yeah,
just
it's
have
on
the chat? Is that like
yeah,
an app?
I just go to the YouTube and then I do pop out chat and then I close YouTube so it's not open in the background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to do that.
I didn't know you could pop it out.
I'm a noob, apparently. All
I
right.
mean, I've been on YouTube for years, so
Yeah, no big deal. All right, so
So-
we're gonna see some Aloy murder.
What are these things? Out of my way! Yeah, that's real fucking cute.
The wink.
Just remember, it's the Lego version. It doesn't count. Don't
so
be
it's not
upset.
Aloy.
Exactly. It's Lego Aloy. No, we can't do it.
It's some fuck.
Legaloy? Legaloy.
Galoy.
Galoy. There you go. There it is. We got there.
So the answer to the
Non-discriminatory.
first one was Resident Evil 2 Remake. Crybaby Birkin. Alright,
Yeah.
next one.
Wow. Kind of like it backwards.
No talking during the audio time.
I think we all
Welcome to
figured
the
out what it was.
podcast.
Yeah.
This is when I can
Hey, yeah,
actually.
yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah.
Here's the original. Hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah.
Are you gonna do a remix, Alec?
Oh, yeah.
Just did.
Okay, Alec. You just reminded me. You took a drink of your soda or whatever. Let me see what you're drinking.
Well, which one? Because like I've had Coca-Cola in a bottle.
We're looking Coke bottles.
Because you had like a coffee cup with a Coke bottle in it or
Yeah.
some shit. Like, what the fuck was that?
So
That
Lee
looks
dropped.
like
It is Coca-Cola, but Lee dropped it off earlier today. So it's just Coca-Cola in a tin in a bottle.
it looks like automotive
Now it's an
fluid.
empty bottle.
And then I also, if you guys didn't catch it, I put it in the teacup and I just drink it like this.
Yeah, I caught
My
that.
favorite was last week when you were like you had tea in your hat, and then during the podcast it like fell out into your teacup and you just started drinking it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. To answer the question, that was the Wardcast intro. All right, next one.
The fuck?
Really?
That was a game.
Wasn't much.
One more time.
That actually sounds really familiar.
Yeah,
Should
there's
be.
guitar in the background and
Is it
So we
Dead
don't-
Rising? Do.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? It could actually be Dead Rising or Dead Rising remake.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go with that because I can't. I don't think it is that, but I can't think of what it would be.
I'm gonna go with Devil May Cry because it had rock music in it.
Wow.
So Dead Rising, Devil May Cry. Chat.
Dead Rising 2.
Ooh.
All right. Dead Rising 2. Chat. Any guesses?
Dead Rising 3.
Oh, actually, it's Dead Rising 4, actually. So.
That'd be funny.
Alright, let's see if you get it from the original.
I don't know.
No idea what the fuck.
still got nothing.
It still sounds familiar, but I have no idea.
Alright. It is my Leon DLC in Dead by Daylight.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Right off.
Alright, next one is a movie.
Is it a live
No
action
idea.
movie?
Do it again.
It sounds like either a Japanese dubbed movie or an anime.
Sounds like a trailer of something. A little bit.
Emperor's New Groove.
Good shout. Go for one of my favourite movies. Any more guesses?
I don't recognize this movie at all. One more time.
Okay.
Ik zei roeping heeft de boon.
Ik moet jou laten. Nee, doe jou straks. Nee, neem je ziet. Bij jou en bij ja. Nee, nou nu jou. Maar ik laat het even met je als. Nou, racing is niet. Nou, we kunnen alsjeblieft weer bij jou. We gaan zin op, maar hij zegt.
You know what? I'm gonna say the One
I think
Piece.
she's right.
I'm gonna say the One Piece Netflix show.
I'm gonna go with Shayla on this one.
What did you say?
Emperor's New Groove.
No. No.
Jazz, any...
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm just gonna throw out a random one and say the superhero movie.
Okay. Let's see if you get it from the original.
Guess I had a bonus life. Oh yeah, baby! A Sonic one, a big tank zero.
Oh.
Fuck off.
Cute.
I have no idea. Do you see me dancing?
Yes, I saw you dance.
Is that all you got?
No, but thank you for asking.
God, he's way more annoying
Yeah,
than he's just
yeah.
audio.
I just heard like some annoying voice. I didn't really know.
Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Wow.
I love
All right.
Sonic.
We're getting to the funnier portion of this one, so here we go.
Now, if you're not real, so don't say, yeah, huh?
Geordie?
Like stupid. Oh, Joe. Okay.
At first, I was like, "When was Dante that intense for something?" And I just hear the. Like, yeah, it's my favorite thing. All right, kids, ready? The fucking fire extinguisher. Yeah, it's Jody.
Any more guesses?
We already said what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the original.
Oh, hey, it's one of those fire water guns. I got this. Okay, fuck it. That's good enough.
Okay, kids. Now here's how to build a human marshmallow. Ready? Okay. Bad idea. Oh my God, why? The agony. Oh man,
I'm gonna lay down. I need to make another Jody episode.
That'd be cool. You
It
should.
was fun.
For those who don't know, it was Jody Goes to School. All right, next one.
I haven't watched that in so long.
I watched it recently. Don't know
No.
when.
I mean,
all right, nearly finished.
What?
Was that a Team Fortress machinima? Or...
It's a video
Sound
game.
like- Oh.
Sounds old.
Conkers.
Yeah, it could be.
Is that the game that has like all the weird shit and the swearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big
Yeah,
mighty
pretty sure you're
pool.
right.
Yeah, the big mighty poo.
Need Conkers at first.
Let's play it from the original.
Why is it everybody so
Yeah.
offensive around here?
Bring me back me missing cogs. Oh,
You don't have to shout.
I'm deaf. Speak up. Oh, up.
Hang on a second.
Well, hello.
I need to
Hello
play that
there.
game.
Well, hello there.
It makes me sad that I never played it.
General Kenobi.
Yes, it was Conker's Bad Fur Day, the original N64 version. And lastly, guys,
Sizzy.
I know what it is.
Why do I not recognize this?
Let's play it again.
Sound like
Sizzy.
I love the
Wow.
It's fun listening to these things in reverse.
Like I heard, it sounded like Cody at one point. Unless it was just you imitating the voice really well.
I got nothing.
Is it dual?
It is machine.
Yes, we got that.
Is it one of your challenges?
I was talking to a survival horror fan. So get fucked.
Do it one more time.
Oh.
Sizzy.
Wow.
Oh, okay, fair effect. No, it's not fair effect. But oh, what?
Wow.
Yeah, either I can't place it backwards or I haven't seen this.
You've seen it. I think. Pretty sure.
If not, we're gonna have to watch it.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I'd like to see it again.
Or is it the old Adventures of New Mega Man?
Let's play the original.
To now.
We're gonna need a blanket and at least 2 more chairs. And possibly a horse. Ford is gonna be the talk of the town. Wowee!
This is so stupid.
That sure is some hard wood. Structural. Sexual. Nice.
Why are we doing this?
Shut the fuck up, Stephen.
I have to go to the bathroom.
I told you we ain't got time for that shit.
I've never had to pee so bad in my life. Oh,
Jesus.
Where's the bathroom?
Yeah. It took me a second. I'm like thinking of Uber Cinemas in my head. Last minute, I'm like, oh, New Adventures of Yep. Okay. Steven.
The new adventures of old Mega Man is the answer.
Steven.
That.
What did I say? The old adventures of New Mega Man?
That could be a sequel.
Close. Yeah, there you go.
It's new and improved.
And that is Reverse Remember, guys. Well done.
Steven.
Steven.
We need some chairs.
Nobody asked us.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
Yeah, there we go. All right, let's do this bit quickly. Examples
What
of
the fuck
games.
is with the background? What the hell?
It's blue.
What about it? Oh.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, examples of games that are awfully short but equally amazing. I mean, Resident Evil 3 is not short for jazz there, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, kind of all the Resident Evils are short.
The remake, the remake for 3 was short, but I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was really fun. It was short, yeah.
Oh wow, I lost the name. Hellblade. Hellblade was good.
Tomb Raider.
Is Tomb Raider short?
It is for me.
Well, I mean,
the reboots.
Rage and
well, not Rise. But...
Ooh, Guitaru Man.
Okay.
Everyone's like, yeah, I know what that is.
All right, next one. Everyone talks about hard bosses. What's a boss fight that felt unfair rather than challenging?
I feel like most of the boss fights in all of the Devil May Cries, at least if you're playing on the harder difficulties.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, they're easy.
Yeah, if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, it's fucking rough.
I forgot to mention it, I was playing Devil May Cry 2 because, of course, I play Devil May Cry 2. It's my go-to for some reason.
That's weird.
I don't really have a good gauge on what would be unfair.
True.
Does that hey?
I think Dog Nemesis running on the fucking buildings is pretty unfair, but you know.
Maybe in Resident Evil 5 when you're going against that ogre thing and you just got the fucking mounted machine gun and you're just like, I have rocket launchers! Fucking shoot it!
That's not unfair, that's traumatizing with the memories of having to fucking do that part with a non-co-op game.
Me and Sean did it co-op and it was just like, that took fucking hours.
Oh yeah, it sucks co-op, but it sucks more not co-op.
I know there's a lot of good examples of this, but I can't think of it on the spot.
Alright, what's the most rage-inducing level in gaming history? I've left a picture of Driver and the tutorial for a reason.
I always feel like it's me, so I can't ever judge this because it's probably usually just me.
Rage-inducing level in gaming history, which I've recently done in the remaster version of Tomb Raider 1, is jumping in that room that goes up.
Oh, yeah.
It's just as frustrating in the remaster because the jump doesn't change and you keep falling down the waterfall and have to keep jumping up again.
There's a reason why I don't play that game.
It was so frustrating. When I finally got through it, I'm like, save, because the first time I forgot to save and I fell back down and died and had to restart.
Survival Horror Sans said all the bosses on Bloodborne.
Basically everything in Souls games, because you can die in like 2 or 3 hits.
Oh, it's going back to question 2, but in Blood Rain, when you're fighting, I'm pretty sure it's like Bathory or Elizabeth Bathory's like descendant or whatever, and like the floor keeps disappearing while you're trying to fight her, and like she like basically one hits you, it takes all your fucking health down. There's nobody around to drain their blood, so you can't heal. But like you have to use like all your blood rage to fight her. That's just like a super unfair, like you have like no advantage and all the disadvantages, and your blood rage, like you have to hit her, but she has like she can block you and she's running around everywhere and you're just it's bullshit.
Survivor Horror Fan says MGS4 making Snake make it through the heat room. That's fine. Actually, you just have to press X so many times. I'm used to pressing X so many times. It's fine for me. But go against Psycho Mantis, but obviously don't do the tricks so he can't read your mind. Let him read your mind and then try and beat him that way.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's just challenging.
You know what? Fucking Metal Gear, surviving the damn torture thing is always a real struggle for me because I can't mash the buttons fast enough. I die like half the time there. That and that part in Code Veronica where you have to run by that smashing thing.
Yep.
I die like half the fucking time.
What's
So
smashing?
annoying.
Oh, so you get the orb, and you have to put the orb under the thing that comes down, and then go to the as it's coming down. You have to go to the kind of cage bit, and then wait for it to go down, and then it breaks the orb, and then you pick up the card key.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that one gave me nightmares.
okay.
So
What about? Oh, sorry.
Especially if you're trying to do it with only one save, it's like,
It's so stressful.
yeah.
Rage-inducing level in gaming history. Sorry, my tooth is hurting. Fuck. I just had one that I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna agree with me, and then I lost it. What's a game that we've recently played?
Save?
Lethal
No.
Company?
No,
I didn't play
like
Repo,
a
but
story game, like not a online no story game.
Death Stranding?
No.
Because that's not hard.
Well, you mentioned Metal Gear, and it made me think of the part where you're like strapped to the thing and you have to keep pushing that fucking button until your hand breaks to not get electrocuted or whatever.
Oh,
the torture in Metal Gear 1. You're being tortured by Sniper Wolf?
Oh, no. You're being tortured by Ocelot.
Yeah.
I got one. But,
Yeah,
I mean, again, it's probably just me. But when I was playing, what do you call it? Plague Tale. And the level where you're in the castle and it's right before you find Hugo again or whatever, and you have to light all the braziers, and I did that level like 20-30 times and had to have Jazz send me I didn't like
I did you through made you a video showing you exactly how to do it, and you still complained that you do it.
It was still rough for me, but yeah, it took me a long time to get through
I
that.
think that's just mostly. I mean, not in a mean
Is it
way.
just mostly me? Okay.
Yeah, it's if you just guide the thing through, like you go nowhere near the rats. It's a point A to point B part. It just you have to go in the right direction. You're probably going in the wrong direction. Oh fuck! What was it? I was like, Sean's gonna agree with me so bad on this. I'm frustrated that I can't remember. It went from Metal Gear
Plague
to
Tale?
No.
Something
Metal-
played recently, you said?
I don't know if it was played recently or talked about recently or something, but it's definitely something like relatable.
Cold Fear.
The whole game.
Oh my god, actually legitimately the last quarter of that game is pretty fucking difficult. Cause like it gets really like maze like and there's no map and it's really confusing. And like enemies keep respawning. And the last boss for that is a pain in the ass too. So there you go.
Okay, so it's not a whole level. It was just like a specific part in one or something. And I can't. It'll come to me like later, and I'm gonna be frustrated that I didn't think of it now.
Just leave it in a comment.
Yeah.
All right. That was Nobody Asked Us.
There you go. That was a big boy episode, almost 4 hours. We did it.
Made
though.
it.
We did it. Lots of news, lots
Thanks,
of
boy.
stuff. We did it. Good job, everybody. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. This has been episode 276. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy the podcast or any of the content at The Ward, please consider helping us grow by sharing our content, liking the video, and subscribing. You can also support us through patreon.com/thewordproductions for access to exclusive content, or you can support us right here on YouTube to get a special video. Leon will kill something or somebody for you. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.